97.3. More variety.
God will believe. From the impossible, we'll see a miracle. Yes, we'll believe. They say this mountain cannot be moved. They say these chains will never break. But they don't know who. They don't know you like we do. There is power in your name. 29 after 6 Friday morning. Welcome to your favorite dial, 97.3 Citi FM. Welcome to the Citi Breakfast Show. CC Winers. Believe for it. That's how we choose to start our morning. We choose to mute the voices of doubt. We choose to amplify His promises. We increase the sound of faith. And we believe that together our collective efforts will bring about transformative change. So good morning to you and welcome to a brand new day. Believe this word for yourself personally, that whatever mountain you find in front of you, He's able to move that mountain. He's able to break that chain. Oh, like He told Martha when she said, listen, my brother is gone. And He said, your brother will live again. But she said, yes, I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. But Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. So the question to you this morning is, do you believe? I believe. I believe that through the power of radio, we can push for transformative change for our country. And I also believe for myself His promises for my life. What do you believe? That's Businesses brought to you by ADB. If you're a paid employee or salaried worker, you need a personal loan to resolve your financial issues. ADB is offering you a variety of personal loans, including top-up loans at significantly reduced interest rates. You also enjoy a longer tenure of up to 6 years. There's an offer open to non-customers as well. Visit any of our branches or call 0302-210-210, 0302-224-043 for further inquiries. ADB is the People's Bank. ADB is truly a Greek and more. It's an interactive show. Join us on 0596 986 996, 0549 986 996. Let's have a great day.
We understand the excitement and preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. For chopbox, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly a Greek and more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Africa is rich and not poor. Go to the world that when the African is given a chance, he can show to the world that he's somebody. We shall no more go back to sleep anymore. Today, from now on, there is a new African in the world.
Many years I'm counting,
Unleashing the
still
power of
nothing
rebel
they
radio.
right.
This is
Blazing
Citi
branches and
97.3.
promises. I saw my heart be like.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
The future is bright. We know they care about your big English, big grammar, know they pay bills and now. See we get him off, but we can't talk. People are homeless, then they build church. Ghana down the disco. You go get the certificate, but no job. Big man hoes for the road talk. Say then go fix some, then go patch some. Say plenty load with the sit up car. I can now cooler when the youth ball. Joe boy, Joe boy. My people they suffer, my people they cry, but you know they care. Get the time I look at my sick about Otona. Joe boy, Joe boy. My people they suffer, people they cry, but you know they care. Joe boy. I'm a little bit on the bike and I'm
So this is episode bringing us part 2 of Wahala Day. Powerful, I love it. So much happening. We'll be bringing you the news review shortly. Soldiers, Operation Halt. Burns 18 Chamfans. No arrests made so far. And they've promised to continue the crackdown. And the red band protest against Galamsey continues. And fathers of the Catholic faith will be embarking on a prayer walk this morning as well. So we'll be bringing you the news review from online to the newspapers. It's brought to you by Total Excellium and Fidelity Bank. Have you heard about the incredible benefits of Excellium from Total Energies? Amazing 3-in-1 power it's got. Additive and rich fuel with powerful 3-in-1 action. Cleans your engine, extends its life and lowers your fuel consumption. It will reduce your CO2 emissions. You will drive sun. Experience the difference with Total Energies Excellium new formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality. And every hour new pages turn. Every day is a new chapter. To keep your dreams alive, today a tabletop owner, tomorrow a shopfront owner. Today you're a student, tomorrow you're a big man. An apprentice today, a master tomorrow. Let's go on. Whatever it is that you do adds value to this world. So remember that your efforts are conspiring to make your plans happen. And at Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited, our purpose is to inspire your success and collaborate with you every step of the way. Believe with us, Ebefa. Jumping into the newspapers right away. And okay, Nathan Kwao is in the studio. Good morning, Nathan.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. And Nanatufo Boating will join us as well. Good morning, 9924.
Good morning, Caleb. Good morning. How's it going?
I'm good. What's the 144 this morning? What's happening today?
A lot happening, especially on the Galamsey front.
Yep.
Today, the Catholic Church, the Archdiocese in Accra, will hit the streets.
Yes.
And so you find a number of stories.
They'll be praying and walking.
Exactly.
Yes. And
prayer
demanding.
protest.
I love
prayer
it.
protest walk.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But Nathan, what happened yesterday? The Black Stars challenged Sudan 2 weeks. Couldn't manage anything.
They were very blunt in front of goal.
Yeah.
The Sudanese goolkeeper had the game of his life. We wasted chances.
Oh.
But it was a much better performance, would you say?
Well, generally,
better.
Generally, yeah.
But no
At
results
least
to show.
They created on the chance creation side, yes, but they just couldn't. Some of the chances, look, like 4 yards, that point blank range, and like Iñaki Williams is missing, Kudus is missing, Semenyo.
Quite disappointing, but
it's really sad. Monday they go again, and
but this time
I say it's no in Libya. Sudan's
Libya.
political climate is
so
wrong that they can't host a game there.
Yeah.
So we just hope that
political climate is so not fine.
Yes, there's some fighting.
I'm aware. And with all that, we play home too. We can't convert the chances into goal.
You have a genius in Kwesi Appiah.
Well, Kwesi Appiah and Ignatius Osefo, so they did a number. Look, even if for nothing at all, they would be very determined to take something off Ghana. So,
and it works for them, doesn't it? Anyway, if you go to the political side of things, the Electoral Commission is looking at printing notices of poll today, not ballot papers, and the EC is clarifying that. Draw inspiration from Pope Francis ahead of election 2024 cardinal texting to Baumia and Mahama. Disqualified presidential candidate Appiah Dankwa sues EC. Grab the bull by the horns in Galamsey fight. This is Kwesi Enin telling Akufo-Addo, and I'm reading from citynewsroom.com. Galamsey soldiers burn 18 chamfans, 10 industrial water pumping machines, and 1 excavator have been burned. So we are making some progress.
Yeah, and it should be sustained.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
very important. What are the people saying, Fred?
Anyway, I'll get to what I have to say about it later. Let's get into that.
We will continue solidarity.
You are not solidarizing with anybody.
Oh no, it's a fight. We must continue.
We are not solidarizing with anybody. Not after the show organized labor put up.
No, later we'll continue the fight. We are
let's
not
get
putting our faith in men.
What the people are saying this morning. I'll start off with the Ghanaian Times.
Yes.
Front page says, fight against illegal mining. Military swoops on Galamsey. 18 chamfans, 10 pumping machines, other equipment destroyed. EPA rallies nationwide support to fight Galamsey. Calls for all hands on deck to defeat menace. Jospon Group partners Uganda government to tackle waste management in Kampala. UTAG embarks on strike over Galamsey.
Right.
The Daily Graphic says centralized governance system must change. That's coming from the Ochihini. Ghana Grows Agrofusion Festival opens in Koforidua today. Government moves to revoke mining in forest reserves law. And on the back page, the Black Stars are here. Black Stars' AFCON hopes in jeopardy after stalemate with Sudan.
The Chronicle newspaper says Abongo boys move into action. Destroy champagne machines on Brim River. Military battle police over smuggled cocoa. Jospon in Uganda to fight waste. 2,000 jobs expected to be created after decommissioning Kitezi landfill.
Okay.
Achim Mine, past, present, and future.
And I see on the back page, Black Stars
failed to beat Sudan at home. And then a number of AFCON nations qualifier results also on the back page of the Chronicle.
Yeah, the Republic Press, 18 chamfans go down as government takes bold step to combat Galamsey. Judges blast LGBTQ plus protesters. 2 DCEs resign. That's on page 4 of the Republic Press. On Galamsey, CEDAG expresses disappointment over organized labor strike suspension. And 55-year-old man arrested for setting girlfriend, 2 children ablaze at Kanoso. This is crazy.
Why would you do that?
We'll get into that. Page 10 of the paper. And NDC cries foul again. Complaints about ballot paper printing.
The Daily Searchlight this morning says, truth or blasphemy? Baumia to bring Ghana's next independence. Chief claims. Okay. Shoot and kill illegal miners. Joe Wise re-echoes stance against Galamsey. Ghana has enough supplies of LPG. This is attributed to the NPA, and in the bottom corner there somewhere, you would find 2025 AFCON qualifier had luck for Ghana's Black Stars as Sudan get crucial point in Accra.
The Herald newspaper says bribery claim engulfs organized labor after Galamsey strike fiasco. All eyes on Catholic Church. NDC criticizes EC for ballot paper printing without certified voter register. Clement Apak supports 264 Bulsa South students. An MPP Greater Accra Vice Chair returns to work after cocaine smuggling incident.
The Informer newspaper says EC committed to successful elections. This is attributed to Goodluck Jonathan. Regularization of Ajay Kojo lands. A family angry with TDC. Kufuor condemns lawless demonstrators, says they must face the law. And with this story, I was listening to a discussant somewhere taking a swipe at everyone but himself over this story, especially our channel and how we reported on this story. I don't know, him trying to school us on how to file our reports, and quite disappointingly, he didn't make any proper point.
I don't know. The new publisher is here. They have the Galamsey story, pictures as soldiers attack Galamsey sites. Asante Kosoko pulls out of Capital City African Cup, and detained activist Baka Vomawa rushed to hospital.
The Ghanaian publisher, Ugandan government partners Jospon Group for landfill decommissioning. Military destroys Chamfans on Brim River as government steps up anti-Galamsey fight. Senate boss assures pensioners scheme is viable and will protect your financial security. Catholic bishops clear air on environmental prayer against Galamsey.
The Inquisitor, suspension of Galamsey strike, labor unions in image crisis as UTAG declares indefinite strike. Ghana is safe with MPP, Napo reiterates in Africa Watch interview. Johnson Asiedun Kete of the NDC says NDC is not looking for power to loot state, and Ghana Post marks World Post Day.
Finally, from me is the Catholic Standard. Says Catholic Church committed to nation's progress. Focus on things that unite you. Mixed marriage couples advised. There's an editorial on the Galamsey fight. It says the Catholic way of being citizens and not spectators.
I love it.
Yeah.
The ABC News, Ghana TVET service launches Japan-Ghana automotive engineering program.
Right.
And then you have the Galamsey story here. And a UPSA teacher or lecturer saying Mahama mismanaged the economy even without COVID.
I see. Let me take you online quickly. Channel1news.com. Apia Dankwa used EC over disqualification from presidential race, and there are videos here showing how 18 chamfans, 10 water pumping machines, and excavator got bent in the Galamsey crackdown. Winner takes all, not helping Ghana's democracy. Professor Ajimendria is speaking, and election 2024 debate without acrimony. Cardinal Texan advises Mahama and Baumia. And then we were not bribed by government to call off Galamsey strike. You know who's speaking? Organized labor. Act swiftly to address Bakavoma's health needs. Democracy Hub is demanding, and NDC doubts EC's ability to start ballot printing amidst unresolved concerns. Majority Online, very quickly, I don't know where they got their data from. Agric Minister questions Statistical Services food price report. Court grants UCC VC stay of execution, restrains further actions until final determination. AFCON 2025 qualifiers, blunt Black Stars draw against Sudan in Accra, remain winless after 3 games. Except for maize, food prices have remained stable. This is again the Agric Minister on dry spell, and then also its refreshing change, Ghana Shigbe, on government's latest efforts to curb Galamsey. If I take you elsewhere quickly, how hurricane conspiracy theories took over social media. You know, some political groups in the US, a political group in the US doesn't believe in this, you know, and there's been all kinds of conspiracies. Now it's destroying homes. Door flew off Florida reels after hurricanes devastation, and 1 dead, 23 rescued after elevator malfunction at Colorado gold mine. China detains iPhone maker workers in strange case, and Obama urges vote for Harris in tight presidential race. Let's jump into the details of what the papers are saying, gentlemen.
All right, I'll take you to page 13 of the Ghanaian Times, and major stories that says fight against illegal mining. Military swoops on Galamseyers, 18 chamfans, 10 pumping machines, other equipment destroyed. Stories by Clef Ekufo from Kwabeng. Says more than 18 chamfans and an excavator were destroyed when the military swooped on some illegal mining sites within the Etiwa East and West districts of the Eastern region. The swoop formed part of the escalation of Operation Halt, announced by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as part of the raft of measures deployed to bring the Galamsey menace under control. Spearheaded by officers and men from the 48th Engineers Regiment of the Ghana Armed Forces, the exercise was undertaken in collaboration with a task force constituted by the Ghana Small Scale Miners Association. The operation, which was led by Colonel Eric Tenedu, mainly targeted activities on the Brim River and its tributaries, as well as the Etiwa Forest area.
Nice one. And Colonel is saying that any miner on a water body is our target. Operation Halt Commander Colonel Eric Tenedu, he has announced that the military personnel will remain stationed around the Brim River and other targeted areas for the next 2 weeks as part of the first phase of the operation against illegal mining, commonly referred to as Galamsey. In an interview with Citi News' Fred Duho, Colonel Tenedu emphasized the operation's commitment to protecting Ghana's water bodies, declaring, "We are launching this operation to make sure that we clear our water bodies, whether registered or unregistered, we don't care. Our concern is the water body. So far as you are close to the water body, you are our target." Very refreshing there. Now, the Catholic fathers, yes?
We'll get to the Catholic fathers in a bit, but one important part of the fight against illegal mining is the mining in forest reserves law.
Yeah.
And the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Jinapo, has expressed optimism that the environmental protection mining in forest reserves regulation 2023, which is the LI 2462, will be revoked before the end of the year. He was speaking to the Daily Graphic last Wednesday, and he said the instrument for the revocation of the LI was expected to be laid before Parliament when it resumed on Tuesday, October 15th. He said although most of the processes for revocation of the LI would depend on Parliament when laid in the House, he was optimistic that it would be done before the end of the year.
Right.
You know, the EP has also been speaking on illegal mining. Yesterday, the EP appeared before the Government Assurances Committee of Parliament. Well, the EPA boss or has admitted that the fight against illegal mining, otherwise referred to as Galamsey, is a difficult one, which would need all hands on deck approach to win. Dr. John Kingsley Krugu, Executive Director of the agency, told Parliament's Assurance Committee in Accra yesterday that until all stakeholders came together against the menace, the quest to end the pollution of water bodies, the depletion of forests, and the degradation of arable lands would be a mirage. What stood out for me, however, was the Deputy Executive Director, who says that the EPA, if given the mandate to lead the fight, can stop illegal mining in a month.
So what have they been waiting for?
They don't have the mandate to lead the fight. So they are waiting for the mandate to lead the fight.
So they cannot collaborate with the ministries to fight.
Well, if you listen to him, he said that within some quarters, a conversation was had where he made that suggestion that EPA be given the mandate to lead the fight against illegal mining.
We have ministries coming together. We have had interministerial committees leading this thing with Operation Halt, Operation Vanguard, and all of that. Now we have to wait for EPA to lead the fight and then halt the thing in 1 month. Well, grab the bull by the horns in Galamsey fight is what Professor Kwesi Enin is telling Nana Akufo-Addo on CitiNewsroom.com. Security analyst Professor Kwesi Enin has urged President Akufo-Addo to take decisive action to comprehensively address illegal mining menace locally known as Galamsey. There is a quote here: "We cannot continue to do business as usual, to do things as if nothing is wrong. There is something fundamentally wrong, and the earlier we are bold enough to accept it and discuss it and to grab the bull by the horn, the better for all of us." So from those who will be making the law and those who will be implementing it, and to those who need to play an oversight role of what we are seeing in Ghana today, it doesn't seem the willingness and the preparedness to understand and appreciate the complexity of interests that are coming together. And this is on CitiNewsroom.com. But there is a prayer walk this morning, isn't it?
Yes, there is. From the Catholic the Archdiocese of Accra.
You have that story.
I can get that for you online. But quickly, let me just look for it here. Okay, the new Ghanaian publisher on page 2 has Catholic bishops clear air on environmental prayer against Galamsey. The Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference, GCBC, has dismissed claims that it is organizing an environmental prayer protest walk against illegal mining in Galamsey. Most Reverend Gabriel Justice Anoche, the Archbishop of Kumasi, clarified that the event is being organized by the Accra Archdiocese and not the national body, as some reports suggested. This statement comes amid attempts by certain political figures to politicize the initiative. Now, Archbishop Anoche emphasized that the church's stance on Galamsey is purely environmental and moral, urging that the fight against this menace should not be turned into a political issue. The prayer walk, quote, is being organized by the Accra Archdiocese, not the GCBC. This is not about politics. It is about protecting our environment and safeguarding the future of our nation, Archbishop Anoche said.
Well, it's starting at 10 a.m. this morning, and it's starting off at the Holy Spirit Cathedral, and then it will end at Christ the King, where a Holy Mass will take place. This is a cantonment, and I understand there will be a petition that will be also presented, and I think that some bottles of water, Galamsey water, will be carried along as well. There are details of that. So do well to join this. It's happening 10 a.m. today from the Holy Spirit Cathedral all the way to Christ the King. Every voice matters as far as this fight is concerned. Nathan, what else do you have? EC is speaking, NDC saying something?
Yes, let's get to some politics. And the NDC has expressed concerns, and this on page 3 of the Herald newspaper. The NDC's concerns are over the EC's decision to commence the printing of presidential and parliamentary ballot papers and the notice of poll for the 2024 general elections without first releasing a certified voter register or accurate ballot statistics. And a statement signed by the NDC's Director of Elections and IT, Dr. Edwin Omanibuama, the party outlined 10 key issues, warning that the EC's actions threatened the credibility and fairness of the electoral process. The NDC claimed that proceeding with the printing of ballots without proper voter data would open the door to potential manipulation, raising fears of electoral malpractice.
Let's talk about food and their prices. Except for maize, food prices have remained stable. This is the Greek minister on the dry spell planning, and it says that food he's opened up about government's meticulous planning to cushion the agricultural sector from the impacts of the dry spell experienced this year. Dry spell, which many feared would trigger a food crisis, was anticipated and accounted for well before it struck. Quote, "We knew about the dry spell and had projected its impact as far back as February," Brian Echampo reviewed, underscoring the ministry's proactive stance in mitigating the effects of the adverse weather conditions. And the headline really says that, but for maize, food prices have dropped. Have remained the same, actually. In fact, a couple of days back, I bought a bucket of tomatoes, not a bucket, but small bucket, for 70 cedis, and they were very big, and I thought it was a good buy. And later, one of my colleagues said she bought a whole box for 200 cedis somewhere along the Volta region, and I thought that's good. But the question is, now that we are having the bumper. Actually, we have a lot of vegetables now, tomatoes and all. How are we stocking up against the dry season? So now the prices are dropping. How are we making sure that for all the harvest we reduce our post-harvest losses and preserve them when we are in a leaner season? That's always been the challenge every year round, and I hope that the ministry takes that into account and does something very proactive.
I'll take you to the health sector, where Ghana has launched a mass vaccination plan for vaccine preventable diseases. The Ghana Health Service story is in the Ghanaian Publisher on page 7, and it reads: the Ghana Health Service on Tuesday launched a mass vaccination plan for vaccine preventable diseases. And the 5-year roadmap is designed to guide the national response to any vaccine preventable disease outbreak. The costed response plan consolidates all necessary actions to be taken during an outbreak and outlines the responsibilities of various stakeholders for an effective response.
And if I take you elsewhere, 1 dead and 23 rescued after elevator malfunction at Colorado Gold Mine. This is the BBC. 1 person has died and 23 others have been rescued after an elevator malfunction at a disused Colorado Gold Mine. And we are also told that Obama has joined the campaign trail to canvass vote for Kamala Harris in a tight presidential race. That will be it for the news review. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Nana Tufobuating.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Ah, go me. At what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my go be fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my go be inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small.
Go.
Yo, Anna. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Charlie, today the matter will catch me. I received urgent order from my online store. Customer wants 10 pieces sharp. But my wahala be delivery. Stress so me too. I no get order in weeks. So then I make slow. Charlie, I decide to deliver this thing myself. Quiet. I was willing to trust my small tired car like that. But boy, I no even leave my area where the whole place full of snow. Engine kaput, pasca. As the boys they help me push the car off the road, where I look up and raise my head, where I see for Fidelity Bank billboard top. These two just be chapter. Ebefa mpa. Then Norma Vim come. Listen, I dog the sadness and find Okada fast. I deliver all the goods, collected my money, and even got referrals from this customer. Ebefa mpa. At Fidelity Bank, we believe you can achieve your dreams. Believe with us. Ebefa.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangy fruit drink, bursting with tangy flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
It's 7 and we are getting ready for the business news. But can you believe it's been 15 years since Momo was launched in Ghana? That's why the Momo at 15 Rewards is here with amazing cash prizes to say thank you. Send money to any MTN Momo user or make payments to an MTN Momo merchant at no cost whatsoever, only on MTN. So download the My Momo app on your phone, keep transacting and win some cash as well. There is 450,000 Ghana cedis up for grabs for 165 lucky winners. You too can be one of them. Just Momo it everywhere you go. This offer runs from now to November. T's and C's apply. And Good Energy brings you Girl Super XP, the ideal choice for most vehicles. Just go fuel up your vehicle and enjoy smooth ride with all the benefits. Girl Super XP's quality gives you the correct choice when buying regular fuel. As you journey the road, look out for Girl stations with the Girl Super XP sign and go fuel up your vehicle. Girl Super XP, ufilia, ube feely good. Girl Good Energy, yang idea. And let's say a special morning to Ni Latte, who's here with the business news. Good morning, Ni.
Well, good morning to you, Kuda. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. This morning, the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, along with customs agents, trade associations and other stakeholders are set to hold a meeting today to discuss their next line of action. This follows the expiration of their 14-day ultimatum to shipping lines after protests against the high costs of doing business at the port. During the meeting, the groups will review the responses from the Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana, which has dismissed the allegations and emphasized that the charges at the port are legitimate. The outcome of the meeting is expected to be communicated later today. Now, the World Bank is urging Ghana to exercise caution in its borrowing practices to fuel economic growth. The bank stresses the importance of maintaining a sustainable debt-to-GDP ratio, believing it is crucial for the country's long-term development and financial stability. Chief Economist of the World Bank Group and Senior Vice President for Development Economists, Methodical, has been speaking to the media after the launch of the World Development Report by the World Bank Group.
Ghana has been a lower middle income country now for more than a decade, and the growth rate has been positive but not high enough as compared to East Asian countries. So I think one of the things that Ghana will probably have to do is try to see how to increase the growth rate. Now, the other issue, of course, is that you want to make sure that you increase it in a way that is not based on borrowing too much. So you shouldn't be borrowing a lot from outside except for the most high return investment projects. And then the other thing is that one has to keep one's public debt to GDP ratio low. So because the problem with that, of course, is that when the cost of borrowing is low, it's easy to sustain a high debt to GDP ratio.
Indemit Gale is the Chief Economist of the World Bank Group and Senior Vice President for Development Economists. Now, some electrical appliance dealers in the regional capital are opposing the Energy Commission of Ghana's decision to seize goods that lack energy efficiency labels by December 2025. The dealers argue that they suffer substantial financial losses if they are unable to sell their existing stock before the deadline. This opposition comes in response to regulations introduced last year by the Commission, which mandates the dealers must sell unlabeled goods before the deadline or face confiscation. Daniel Odro-Mensah reports.
The Energy Commission of Ghana explained that the initiative requiring appliances such as washing machines, electric kettles, and televisions to be labeled for energy efficiency is in line with regulations enacted in 2022. These energy efficiency labels, usually displayed as yellow stickers on appliances, informed consumers of the product's energy rating, which ranges from 1 to 7 stars. The Commission stressed that the labeling not only verifies manufacturers' energy efficiency claims, but also sets minimum energy performance standards for imported appliances. However, some retailers have expressed concerns questioning the system's effectiveness.
Already they have their label. When you go to NASCO High Sense, they have their label. But label, what I said.
But what is the rationale behind these labels? Previously, home refrigerators were banned due to their high energy consumption. However, despite the introduction of these labels, energy consumption rates have not significantly changed.
It makes sense.
I will not take this lightly if the goods stored in the 40-foot container are seized because I am unable to meet the deadline.
Everything free.
Meanwhile, the Assistant Manager of Energy Efficiency Regulations at the Energy Commission, Hubert Nso-Zan, noted that implementing this law would require additional testing centers to support the registration of a larger number of imported appliances.
About 17 more appliances to cover the new ones. As I mentioned, we have for fridges and air conditions, but we need more testing facilities to cover each appliance that falls under the regulation. And the basis will be for verification testing to be sure that nobody is cheating the Ghanaian consumer. With the age of Photoshop, what it means is that people can print their own labels, people can design their own labels. So immediately we have come up with a QR code, which is a means of identifying the fake labels, and we urge Ghanaians to download the GH Certified Appliance app.
You heard the Assistant Manager of Energy Efficiency Regulations at the Energy Commission of Ghana, Hubert Insoza, and in that report filed by Citi Business News' Daniel Odro-Mensah. On the forex markets this morning, the dollar trading at 16 cedis 40 pesos, the British pound at 21 cedis, that of the euro could be sold to you at 18 cedis 10 pesos. My name is Neat Latte. Many thanks indeed for your company.
For over 60 years, Good Energy has served you top quality fuels. Goil brings you Super XP for a smooth ride. It is available in Goil stations nationwide. Goil Super XP is fortified with special additives which help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Goil Super XP is quality fuel, the ideal choice for most vehicles. Energize your ride with Goil Super XP. Who feel ya? Huh? Who be feel? Good energy. Joy
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
It's 9 after 7 on your favorite dial, 97.3 Citi FM. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. My name is Caleb Kuda. This morning on Citi Business Edition, we'll focus on the creative industry. We'll explore how creatives can master their craft and maximize the potential of their various businesses to improve revenue generation. We have a 30-minute conversation from Juliet Asanto Asante, film producer and CEO of the National Film Authority, and also Ibrahim Mahama, artist and founder of the Red Clay Studio. We'll be bringing you that conversation shortly. It's going to be exciting. Just wait for it. In the meantime, if you're sending money to Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, it is easier now. Through the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems, PAPS, you can receive and send money to any of these countries. All you have to do is to visit any First Bank branch, First Bank Ghana branch nationwide with your cash, and your money is transferred. It's another way we put you first. So for more information, call us on 0596 921 921. First Bank, you first. And the Telecel More Money promo is getting exciting. 1.2 million Ghana cedis has been giving out in the daily and weekly draw. There is more to be giving, and you could be a winner as well. Simply opt in for free by dialing star 500 hash. Send win to 500. Visit the Telecel Play app. Reload your mobile using Telecel Cash Wallet. Make payments onto your fixed broadband account, and you could be a winner as well. It's a promo that's regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. T's and C's apply. Telecel, connecting energies. Now, I know you're ready to make your retirement dream a reality. So say hello to a life filled with relaxation, tranquility, and endless possibilities at Lakeside Hills. Lakeside Estate exclusive retirement home is tailored to help you find the perfect sanctuary to enjoy your golden years to the fullest. We have 2, 3, 4 bedrooms homes developed in a serene environment, including sports complex, pharmacy, shopping mall, children play area, clubhouse, and the biggest water park in Ghana. We are your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year, and we want to journey with you to secure your retirement lifetime home for comfort. So call us on 050-141-8622 or 020-477-5042. Visit our website lakesideestate.com. Lakeside Estate, quality homes for all. Lakeside Hills, live your best life. So let's jump into that conversation for the next 30 minutes with Juliet Asante, film producer and CEO of National Film Authority, and Ibrahim Mahama, artist and founder of Red Clay, as we explore the creative industry and how you can master your craft, maximize your potential, and to improve revenue generation. Enjoy this.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
I've been in this space for 30 years and counting. It's been my whole life. I started when I was 17, and I'm now hitting 50 this year. And so this is the space that has taken care of me, you know. I remember when I started, after my first film, actually second film, I said to myself, if I don't turn this into a business, I'm not going to survive. Basically, that's what I told myself. And so then I went on to start a production company, and then I went back to school to learn the craft of it and the business of it and all that. And as they say, the rest is history. And then on and on, years after, I thought to myself again, okay, there needs to be some policies and things in place that will make us thrive, because you're doing this and you're doing this, but you're not going anywhere. Nobody is fixing it. So again, how can I make a difference? And so I went back to school, learned public policy and public administration with the intent that I'll come back and enter into government and try and make the changes that I myself want to see for my sector and everything. And I think so it was a very strategic move. I said to myself, I'm going to put 10 years of my life on the line to help do this. I think I'm hitting 12 and 13 years now, so I think I'm beyond that. But I think I'm at the place of eventually getting to the place where I feel that, you know, the things that I wanted to see are beginning to happen. And so perhaps very soon I can step back again into creating my art. But I say all this to just anchor it on an idea. When I was sitting down, I was having a conversation with, we were talking, today is the first time we've talked more, but we should have had this conversation long ago, Mr. Ibrahim, and we're talking about what he's been able to do, and the fact that it's a combination of perhaps passion, love, and he's found a way to make money out of it. Not with what he's doing right now in the northern part of the country, but he's making money from it elsewhere, perhaps, and investing it into his community. Because the good society, the way you create a good society, is not just by investing in health and agri and infrastructure, and all those things are critical. But what makes a good society is actually arts, the art sector. And so a human being who is developed, no matter how they developed, if they don't have an exposure to the creative space, you know, sometimes it affects the very essence of who you are as a human being. And so in developing our country, we need to think about what we need to do to develop a good society. A good society is someone who perhaps will see something lying on the floor and say, this shouldn't be here. We'll think about perhaps having a great conversation beyond how you dress and which parts of your body you show. We'll think about long-term, how our buildings look, how our gutters look. Those are the kinds of things that create a good society. And so after you've eaten, which is, if you take the hierarchy, after you've eaten and shelter and all, what is it that makes you a human being beyond an animal? That is what we are talking about. Because as for eating and shelter and all those things, even animals do it. What makes us different from animals is the fact that we go beyond the point where we start projecting into the future, into our environment, what makes us comfortable as human beings and what promotes peace and love and all those things. And we shouldn't forget that as we think about how do we develop our country. But let me bring that home. There's a book that I read some time ago called Good to Great. I don't know if anyone here has read that book, Good to Great. Nice one. So you identify with what I'm going to talk about. There's a concept in that book that is interesting, that if you want to perhaps make it in life, it's let's just say I'm putting an idea forward that we can explore. If you want to make it in life, you must fulfill 3 circles, and these circles must interact. And where the 3 interact, perhaps is where the golden point is. So perhaps the first thing to ask yourself is, do I love what I'm doing? Right? Do I love it? Someone will say, what does love mean? Does it put food on the table? But life is so hard that to get up and do something over and over and over and over again, you must love it. And that's one of the things that is lacking in our communities and in our societies. We look at careers, or parents advise their children to look at careers without thinking about the concept of, do you love this? So maybe, if you enter into this career, you make money. If you enter into this career, to make my family proud. If you enter into this career, so sometimes even when it comes to the creative spaces, a family or a parent will advise the child not to get into that space because they think it doesn't make money. But that's why a lot of people are going around unhappy, stressed, and they don't even make the money that they thought they would make, because life is so hard that there must be something that pushes you when everything else fails. And I'll connect that to passion. So then the passion, and the theme is exploring creative business, transforming your passion into revenue. So there must be something that wakes you up and keeps you going, despite. People will ask me, why do you keep going after how many years? What keeps you smiling after all the issues, the problems? What keeps you smiling? If you don't find the thing that you love and you have passion for to take through your life, you become, at the end of your life, you'll be very unhappy. Then there's a third circle, which is money. That's the trick. So you must find what you love. You must find what you are passionate about. And you must find a way to make money out of it. Now, in the creative space, a lot of us are stuck at where we love, where we have passion. We have it. I mean, I haven't seen one creative person yet who doesn't have love or passion. I mean, we stay up all night. In my younger days, we won't sleep for 3 days. We won't bath. We won't brush our teeth. We won't do anything. Yeah, you get up. Sometimes your computer is by you. As soon as you get up, that's what you are going to. I mean, and you just keep going and going. So the passion and the love is there. The third circle that most of us are missing is to find a way to make money out of it. Because without money as well, your love and passion will soon dry you. It will dry up. So then you have to think about, how can we make money? And it's interesting because when we are advising our children even on careers, we think about the creative space as not where to you can't make money there. But that's one of the easiest and biggest spaces you can make money in. So now let me give you some figures. When you come to the the creation of content alone in the content space, globally is over 2 trillion. During COVID, this was one of the most resilient sectors. In fact, in the US, and I'll narrow down, sometimes my bias is towards film, so forgive me. But my bias is also towards film because film carries along all the other spaces, whether you're, designing costume, makeup, craft, music, whatever. It's within film. You can't watch a film without somebody wearing clothes or there's music. So, pardon my bias. During or after, COVID, the film space was the biggest. In fact, incomes in that space was 45% higher than all the other sectors, including telecoms and all that, during COVID. People were making money, and people continue to make money. In fact, according to UNESCO, in Africa, the space alone, first of all, the creative space is the highest employer on the continent. Did you know that? Ghana is the second largest content producer on the continent after Nigeria. Did you know that? See, so right now we are employing 5 million and bringing 5 billion. But the potential, according to UNESCO, is 20 billion. But at the Africa Cinema Summit last year, experts even said 20 billion is an understatement. This is a sector that can bring you over 100 billion if we invest right. That's the thing, if we invest right. So if you're a creative person and you are there, or you want to create or get into the space, by all means, follow your passion, follow your love. But if you don't make it a business, I made it a business, that's why I'm still here. Otherwise, there are many people I started with. Some of them even had more talent than I did. But they are nowhere because they didn't find a way to make money out of it. Now, if you come to the business, the film space alone, down the value chain, somebody will think, because you hear about actresses all the time, or actors, you think that's where you can be. No. You can go behind the camera, which is what I did. When you go behind the camera, there are various levels of places. But even then, beyond where you are an artist or you have craft, the technical know-how, there are other businesses. For instance, if you take the film space, I mentioned costume when I was talking. In Ghana, there's no one costume house that supplies the film space. Has anybody thought about it? When you go to Atlanta, for instance, and you want to make a film, you just go into a place, you rent the costumes you want, you go and make your films, afterwards you bring it. Now there are even so many events. Everybody has to go and spend like $10,000, 5,000 Ghana Citi putting up a costume. There could be a costume house that just rents out clothes in New York. If I want to go to an event, I can go somewhere, rent a dress, and then come and wear it, go to the event. Maybe it will cost me like $100 or $200 or $500. Afterwards, I return it. I don't have to pay, and keep it. For instance, I have clothes that I have worn. I've worn once or twice. There were cameras on me, so now I can't wear it again because everybody will see that I've worn this. That's a business. Have you thought about it? Makeup. Instead of just doing it, even on you love to do makeup, you can turn it into a business. Equipment, props. There's this gentleman who thought about it and started a props house. And he's doing so well around the trade fair. So when films come to shoot, they go there. If I want a microphone, this beautiful microphone, I don't need to go and buy it. I come and rent it. Afterwards, I bring it. And he's making money out of it. And so I'm just saying this to say that within the value chain, and I haven't even touched on the market, there's opportunities within the space where you can do business. You look within your environment. What is there? Recently, I saw this gentleman who went to technical school. And, what he was doing was, he's in the creative space. He did this small table and chair. He invented this very small table and chair that can be expanded for hostels. And that's a business. And so we need to start to think, about how, if let's say, this event that we are at, APSA is sponsoring this event. If I go to APSA and I say, please give me money to put into my business or my film or whatever, or my any other sector, any other thing I'm doing within the space, they will ask me one question: how do we get our money back? So when Chief was talking, he spoke about non-performing loans and all that. That's all great, but who goes and falls into a hole intentionally? So it may be unperforming, but he's not going to perhaps give you that money when he knows this loan is not going to perform. So then, as an artist, you have to come up with a business plan. You have to show how do the investors, the money people will call it return on investment. So then if you're looking at return on investment, I was talking with my brother Ibrahim, and we're talking about his facility in the north, and we're saying, my God, this could become a screening center for films. And the whole northern region has no screening centers or film centers. That's a business. Now, let me just not even talk about the northern region. Beyond Accra and Kumasi, you don't have screening spaces for films all over the country. That's a business. Up until 2 years ago, Ghana was the largest gaming country, the second largest gaming country on the continent after South Africa. We are all playing games. 40% of South African population are gamers. In 2022 or so, Ghana spent over $60 million on downloading mobile games. So we are playing the games. Who is developing the game? All the infrastructure down that value chain. So you could perhaps have a small center that is multi-center. You are showing films, you are using it for esports, you are doing whatever, people don't know how to, they can't buy console because console is expensive. You can buy a console and then turn it into, rent it out. So all we are saying is that the creative space is one of the spaces where you can make a lot of money. If you think about it as a business, it has to fulfill the passion space. I don't know anybody who is in the creative space who is not passionate. You have to have the love. If you don't have the love, it may not work. But then you have to find a way to make money out of it. And how can you be standing in the midst of plenty and say you are hungry, when this space is one of the spaces that has the most potential for money, and say that you are hungry? Even as government, sometimes government is looking on a return on investment. So even if we go to government, we say to government, give us money, we must show government how government will get a return on investment. Otherwise, that money will not come to the creative space. So even as creatives, when we are talking to government, and I learned that lesson the hard way, and we are saying, invest in us. Have we shown how government is going to get that money back, either through employment or more money coming or whatever? But we don't speak the business language, and so we don't get government to pay attention. Until the National Film Authority came and started gathering data and speaking to the fact that, look, showing government the numbers and saying that, look, if you invest in us, this is how many jobs we'll create. This is how much will come into the country. We say that, give us money to invest in filmmakers. We are asking people to come and shoot in Ghana. By the way, if you give us this amount of money, when people come and shoot, this is how much they will bring. And for real, there are films over, $500 million that are looking to come and shoot in Ghana, if only we had an incentive. But we need to be able to show government the business case to say that if you waive these taxes, then this is how much you will get at the back end. Before government will waive that taxes on saying that we should import equipment. So let's just shift. Sometimes it's just a matter of perception. Let's just shift where we stand, where we start thinking we are poor. We are not poor. I think that's a mindset that covers all of us. As Africans, sometimes, and as Ghanaians, we think we are the richest people, rich in everything. And yet, when we are thinking, we think that we are poor. And because of that mindset, we are not able to position ourselves well. Even when we go for conversations, we undersell ourselves. So if we're going to banks and putting these figures down, and showing a return on investment and talking business and saying, look, we are passionate, we love it, but we can bring you money. This conversation will turn around. So my ideal situation is where the creative space begins to own our space, have confidence in our space, look for the data, and be able to show the investors that, look, give us the money and we'll show you a return on investment. And then let's begin to become rich in our minds. There's not too much time, so I'm going to try and wrap it up. But the thing with being in the creative space, they say that you have to be delusional, a bit delusional, to be a creative. Because what is being a creative is thinking that you can bring something to life that was never, nobody sees. If you are not a bit delusional, I don't know how you can go around thinking that. But let's understand that in our delusion, it's not just delusion. It is there. The numbers are there. Let's gather them and let's become confident in our delusion. I think we'll talk more as we go along, so I end right here. Thank you so much.
Juliet and I, when we were talking, Juliet was saying that Ghana, a lot of people have very poor souls. And I said that we don't have a soul to begin with. So, as I beg to differ, it's not even a poor soul. The souls are even very little. Yeah. So, and culture and creativity, particularly also through film, is how we can somehow revive the body with the soul. And but also the fact that in our generation, we are doing work that will somehow clear the path for others in the future, which I think is very important. And then to Juliet now, we're talking about public policy and how that can lead to economic transformations within the creative sector. And she also mentioned about the good society, which is very important. Like, how do we build a good society anywhere? And then creativity certainly is one of the most important points and spaces to build a good society. And then she spoke about the idea of like importing equipment for films and others for breaks. Recently, we had I don't know if you know of this, the Polaroid, the old Polaroids. So, the company, they made the small cameras, but they made very large cameras also. So the Ghanaian photographer, James Bano, he turned 95 recently, and there was a James Bano festival, which there were exhibitions across the country, from Accra through Kumasi to Tamale. And in Tamale, we hosted a very major exhibition of his work, mostly work that he had done that had never been shown before. So in 1959, he came to Tamale, and that was the only time he ever came there. He went to Tolong and other places, and he made some really good photographs. And those photos have never been shown before, because he lived in the UK for quite a long time, and he worked with the Drum magazine and others. So most museums are used to showing those works that he did. But we wanted to show work, particularly in communities, because if someone like James Bano, who is 95, he hasn't been in Tamale since 1959. It's very rare that you find someone who's still alive since 1959 and still coming back to a space. So just 3 weeks ago, he came to Tamale to open the show. And he hadn't come there since 1959. You can imagine. Akosomo had not even been built yet. So that's a very long time ago. And I worked with the Polaroid Foundation in Venice to do an exhibition recently and produce a work. And they had this camera that they made in the 70s. The camera has never been brought to the continent before. And there are only 5 that exist in the world. One is at the Harvard University in their museum, and 4 are active. And they only made 5 when the camera was made. And they are very large scale cameras. So imagine a Polaroid is this size, but that camera is about this size, So there was the idea to combine making, like, James and I coming together to make a series of photos. So I said, why not make these photos in the north? Because when you make it in the north, even the subject matter will be different. Because if James, of course, when it comes to Ghana, he's mostly in Accra. If you shoot this in Accra, people will hijack it. When you go to exhibitions and all that, you always have the same type of bodies in those exhibitions. People always go to exhibitions pretending that they understand what they're seeing. It's a culture of art, like with the wine glasses and all that. And the idea is that how do we expand the bodies? Because even when you see paintings in art exhibitions, they're mostly because precarity is what has breeded art over the years. Because Mumin was talking about the Medicis and all that. So if you're going to make work, and then, for instance, you are painting a car or whatever, and then the painting, let's say, goes to hang in a museum or in a gallery somewhere, forgetting that most often the car will not be part of the conversation of the work. So for me, the question was that how do we extend that? So we decided, why not just use a photograph to photograph the kids and then the workers in the community in Tamale. So we did that, but when the camera arrived in Ghana, that was a problem to get it out of customs. Something that was just coming on temporal imports. Customs was asking for them to pay 5.7 million Ghana cedis. Yes, exactly, as a bond before they release the camera. Because temporal imports. And look, even when I make exhibitions abroad and I decide that I'm going to save these artworks and then transport them to Ghana because we're building a permanent collection for future generations. The last time my works arrived back at the airport, to clear it and everything, it was 500,000 cedis. Yes, something that you've made in Ghana, you sent abroad, and you're returning it to give it back to the society that you're in. So at the end of you guys were talking about one thing, love. It's only love that keeps us in this. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, without love is very important. People say, well, can we eat love? But you can't eat it. But then in the long term, it keeps the body and it keeps the mind alive. If not, you go insane. Because somebody asks, but why should I even do this? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And that's what you're talking about, the delusional aspect. Yes, you need a bit of delusion. Or sometimes I would say a bit of stupidity. Because without stupidity, you can't be too sensible. People always make calculation. Oh, if I do it like this and like that, this will happen. No, it won't happen. There are so many things. It's like in the world, everything conspires not to make things happen, particularly when it comes to the creative industry. But the humanities in the world, that is what keeps any society alive. Without film, a lot of people always say that, oh, America is this and that. So in the film, when someone falls down, 911, an ambulance comes, woo, they take the person to the hospital. And I said, it doesn't happen like that in America. Yeah, film has made us to believe something which does not exist. Do you know the deaths? People are running away from hospitals because the ambulance took them to a hospital and they have to pay $5,000. But the film doesn't tell you that. So film, again, culture, it's such a powerful medium. I'm saying it in a good way, that in a sense that film and culture has a way of somehow retelling stories and also making us to believe in a world that we live in, or a world that we want. I wanted to talk about the idea of creating value, building the good society. Again, what kind of a country or society are you going to build one day? So that's the reality. The fact that you are building a society which inherently is flawed and has created a gap in itself. So already, a lot of the kids will grow up and then one day they realize that, they are, for instance, they want to be able to do things, but in terms of exposure and experience, there might be others who have those exposures. But even in terms of interpretation, those others who have the exposure, they don't have the right interpretations. Because sometimes we tend to see people as sophisticated and intelligent because they have something we don't. But that is not justice. When all of us have it, that's when we can access intelligence. You know it, I know it, and now we can talk about it. Oh, but what do you think about this? Maybe I might even have a better insight based on my condition, based on the fact that I even live, for instance, in Tolong. There are certain experiences that allows me to be able to read it in a much more intelligent form than even if you live in Accra or in New York or elsewhere. So the last, I would say, is about the value that we're talking about. Because for us as artists, for instance, I don't make money in Ghana from the work that I produce. I travel around the world, I teach, I make installations and all kinds of things. I do installations in Ghana and all that. But the fact that in Ghana, there are so many wealthy people, so many rich people. But when people have money, they want to buy the next house in Trasaco or buy the next Bugatti or Rolls Royce or whatever. Whereas elsewhere, their mates are investing into building like cultural institutions, buying castles, turning them into spaces and all that. That is one thing that we have to invest into the next generation. So that's why for us in Tamale, it's not so much about the fact that, the kids just come and see a painting or a sculpture. It's about the entire system. One day, not many of these kids, I don't even hope they become artists one day. We just hope that one day they become good thinkers in a good society one day. When some of them become doctors or engineers or whatever, they realize that in thinking about the society that they find themselves in, all different things are connected. So some of them will become wealthy in the future. And how do they invest their money into the creative sector, as we're talking about? How do we invest into the creative sector? So those things are very important. And also a lot of the works that I've made for museums, there are works like, there's a work that I made with these shoemaker boxes, non-rentable in Cancer. One was bought by the National Gallery of Canada. So when you go to Canada, it's in the public collection of the whole country. There's one in Miami in a museum. There's one in Amsterdam. And there are two versions which are here in Ghana. I remember there was a museum in Norway called the Astrid Family Museum. They invited me to Norway to see, because they have a very magnificent collection. And they wanted to buy the work because they said, oh, we need it because we need to reconstitute our collection, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, I can't sell it. And they said, why? And I said, it's not mine to sell. I have gifted the work to a public trust in Ghana. They said, but you can always make the work again. I said, no, I can't. The time as I made the work, the materials I made the work with and all that, it was coming from an old factory that had been built by Nkrumah back in the 60s when Tama was built. And the factory had been abandoned. So the interior, the archives, that was what made the work. I can't reproduce that. The soul that went into the work. Someone would have said, oh, just sell it. You can always make another after all. The artist. But it doesn't work that way because every work has its provenance. So if you decide to keep the work in Ghana, currently one of those works is valued at $500,000. So there are two of it in Tamale. So just that two alone is more than the value I've spent on building the institution. And that is one work. And there are at least 500 works which I've gifted to the public trust over the last 10 years. So imagine that even now, if you're not looking at the infrastructure, you're looking at... You are not looking at the infrastructure. You are looking at the value of the work in it. Because the Mona Lisa, France has placed a tax value of $2 billion on it. It means that even if the Louvre decides they ever want to sell it, they can't sell it because no one will be able to pay that. But then in Ghana, do we understand that? Are we on that level? And it's not just the artists, but also, I think as I said, I like something that you said very well, that you went to study policy in order to be able to go into governance and all that. Because as artists also, that's one thing that we also have to do. We have to go into that sector because you also just can't sit there and then leave it into other people's hands. We need to be able to influence decisions and things that happen within that. And eventually when that happens, the 100 billion that you were talking about, it would even be a lot more.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Anymore, pop quiz. Are you ready?
Hit me.
Can you give me 3 words that start with omni?
Oh, that's easy. Omnibus, omnipotent, omnibus. The bank with a really nice signboard.
Hey, Radzi, you mean omnibisic. OMNIBSIC. Omnibisic. Let me hear you say it.
Omnibisic.
Perfect.
Is that an abbreviation?
Not entirely. And it's not just a bank with nice signboards either. Omnibisic Bank is Ghana's fastest growing bank with innovative banking products and headquarters in Atlantic Tower at Airport City, Accra, as well as 40 branches across the country. Omnibisic Bank has the final word on excellent customer service delivery in Ghana.
Plus, they have the coolest signboard.
Yes, they do. And the coolest name, Omnibisic.
At your service.
Charlie, this year's elections, I am really confused. I don't know who to vote for.
Why don't you know who to vote for? Let's listen to one policy JDM says he's going to implement when he's voted.
I think so NDC ban. You be bien juman kitten. My person branch executive na di omo be gym. Say akoko na person hwe poultry farm ketu ebi ne ama akoko bo no ne ton koko na ma ne ama eduane a wo de beto eduane ama sika wo de beto eduane ama.
But why are you laughing? My guy, relax. So this is the reason he wants us to vote for him? Oh, the man hasn't changed one bit. Same old dead goat. Now let's listen to one of the many policies Dr. Bawumia has for the youth.
Jobs would be my major focus. Now, me be training 1 million youth in digital skills.
And see, that's not all. Apart from that, he's going to set up SME Bank to enable SMEs expand, to create jobs for the youth, and also increase demand with the buy now, pay small policy, which is the credit scoring system.
Oh, really?
That's not all, oh. Let me give you the last one. He says he's going to introduce Buy Ghana First policy to boost local businesses to help them expand and employ more youth.
Wow. Now, I know who I'm voting for come December 7th. Dr. Bawumia, you have my vote.
Yes, so these are but a few of DMB's bold solutions for the youth when he's voted into power come December 7th. I've changed my mind. I'm not voting for JDM anymore. I'll vote for the bold solutions man, Dr. Bawumia. Great decision, my brother. This year, Dr. Bawumia's vote, yem fan cheche.
And yeah,
Vote Dr. Bawumia, number 1 on the ballot.
Keeping your smile healthy and strong is important to Colgate. That's why this month, Colgate is giving you an opportunity to get a free dental screening. We want to help take care of your oral health beyond just brushing your teeth daily with our products, because we believe our smile is our strength. Our dentists are here for your smile. Please note that the dentists will screen you and provide advice around how to manage your oral health. There will be no procedures or treatments done. Visit Colgate Ghana on our Facebook page to find out more. This advert is FDA approved.
The Births and Deaths Registry beckons all of us to forge a future where each birth is duly recorded and every Ghanaian life is cherished and remembered. To help capture these moments, registration is absolutely free for the first day to 12 months after birth. You are, however, encouraged to register within the first 90 days of a child's birth for timely data capturing to help government plan for the child. Ensure that you present a maternal health record book or weighing card for the registration of births. By registering births, we lay the foundation for progress and prosperity in our beloved nation. Our offices are opened from Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. This message is brought to you by the Births and Deaths Registry under the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, supported by the Public Sector Reform for Results Projects and the World Bank. Call 030-3941-222 or visit pdr.gov.gh for further details. From the first cry to bidding farewells, everyone counts. Register now.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Welcome aboard to kick off. We are proudly powered by Shell, Lesheho, Zonda GH, and Polytank Ghana. Papa Nuni. I am Bernard Abekootri. Coming up, it's back-to-back draws for the Black Stars of Ghana in the 2025 AFCON qualifier. More of that, plus we check out some results from the other AFCON matches, the Nations League and the South American qualifiers. And the Black Stars' quest to revive their 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifying campaign suffered a setback as they failed to secure a win against Sudan. Ghana was held to a goalless 0-0 draw at the Accra Sports Stadium last night, prolonging their search for a first victory in the qualifiers. There's more in the following report. The match day 3 of the 2025 AFCON qualifier started with a different twist. This time around, it was the FA president who was questioning the Stars about commitment. The team played against Angola, lost at the Baba Sports Stadium, and drew against Niger. For the Ghana Football Association president, Edwin Simeon Okranko, that was an exercise that the Black Stars should have fetched maximum points from here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Since 2021, fans trembling in numbers to show their love for this team. A number of chances for the Black Stars to go ahead in the game. It did not happen as we saw here. In addressing the media, the head coach of the team, Otto Addo, rightly indicated that he saw some bit of improvements in his setup. For him, the players played quite good at the backdrop of what the GFA president rightly told them. A bit of commitment for him was seen.
The chances were there. a lot of chances, but this is football. This is football, sometimes very, very hard, difficult for us. So now it pains even more. The Niger game pains even more. And also the last minute goal against Angola pains even more, because today, again, we did well, and there's nothing much I can say. And just the result, and this is the most important thing in football, is not correct. And I think we deserve to win, but we didn't. And we will stay positive, and we will beat them away with the same performance, the same passion, the same creativity up front. We will beat them away.
For the fans who watched this team play here at the Accra Sports Stadium, it's a matter of a mixed feeling. Some think the Black Stars did well, but they want them to channel the same energy with which they played here with probably the next time find a back of the net. They'll be playing against Sudan in their next campaign, match day 4 of the 2025 AFCON qualifier. The fans of the Black Stars of Ghana will want to see something different from the Stars.
For a lot of people, they've been trying their best to understand this great patch that the Black Stars have been on over the last couple of years or so. Now, before this game, there were a lot of tones and undertones, plots and subplots. And we had the FA boss in his ranks.
It's a hard luck day. Please look at the inferior how people came in. But let's don't single out individual players. Let's go back to the drawing board and see the mathematics and see what we can bring out the possibilities.
Very, very disappointed because in all we wanted a win. That's all Ghanaians want. And that's not good enough for us. It's our home also, so it's nothing but win. So for me, I'm disappointed.
The questions on the lips of many Ghanaian fans is how come? Open chance opportunity, goal not being scored. The Sudanese fans say they want to do the magic, beating the Black Stars in Libya on the 14th. Would they be able to do this, or is the hurdle just too expensive for them? Reporting for Channel 1 News, I am Bernard Abekojo.
Away from that report, let's get into some more qualifiers. Namibia 0, Zimbabwe 1, Cape Verde lost to Botswana by a goal to 0. DR Congo 1, Tanzania 0. Algeria beat Togo by 5 goals to 1. And of course, Burkina Faso beating Burundi by 4 goals to 1. So later today, Equatorial Guinea up against Liberia at 1 p.m. Mozambique versus Eswatini, and later Zambia will take on Chad. Madagascar versus Gambia. Cameroon take on Kenya. Egypt versus Mauritania. Nigeria face Libya. Uganda versus South Sudan. South Africa versus Congo. Angola up against Niger. Gabon also face Lesotho. Ivory Coast will face Sierra Leone, and Mali taking on Guinea-Bissau. Of course, Senegal will be playing Malawi, and Tunisia up against Comoros. In Europe, Lee Casley's honeymoon period as England interim manager came to a crashing halt as Vangelis Pavlidis' double gave Greece a deserved 2-1 Nations League win at Wembley.
I don't think we went wrong. Well, I thought I didn't think we started the game great. I thought that we were second best a lot of times. Obviously, we tried something different with the formation and the areas of the pitch that we tried to get into. We never really give ourselves a chance to see whether it was the right decision or wrong. I think we obviously looking at the results and the way that the game panned out. It was a challenging night for us. I think Greece was okay as well. I thought they played well. I thought they were highly motivated as you'd expect. I thought we were just second best too much tonight.
Elsewhere, Belgium capitalized on Lorenzo Pellegrini's first half red card to come from behind and draw 2-2 against Italy. Hungary will be playing Netherlands later at 6:45. Iceland will be playing Wales. Ukraine versus Georgia. Slovakia face Sweden. The South American qualifier substitute Luis Enrique scored a crucial late winner for Brazil as they came from behind to beat Chile at the Estadio Nacional Julio Martinez Padrano. That's your sport. For more sports stories, log on to citysportsonline.com. On X, we are at City Sports GHA. Thanks to Shell, Leshell, Zonda GH, and Politan Ghana, Papa Nuni. I am Bernard Abekojo. Sport is life. Get involved.
You know that mining contract I've been chasing for years? No? I just got awarded the deal. But the issue is where to get the right and quality heavy-duty trucks to execute this job here in Ghana.
Relax, my guy. Remember my recent construction deal at Pokwase? Zonda sorted me out.
Zonda? What? Who is that?
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for machinery, heavy and light-duty trucks, and pickups. They have the Shantui bulldozers, graders, payloaders, rollers, poor pickups, 4-land light trucks, TX trucks, and oil tanks, made and assembled right here in Ghana with top-notch after-sale service and standard prices.
Made in Ghana. This is amazing.
You haven't seen my Zonda Power pickup, which I take to the office? Strong, durable, and tough on our roads.
Hey, that's from Zonda too?
Absolutely. Zonda is the right place for you, my guy.
Oh, now I am sorted with Zonda. Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, your solution for heavy and light-duty trucks, located at Tema, off the Aflao Road. Call 0501 772 222 or 0501 773 333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
Hey, well, yo, I did tire for Abu Chef. See, everything I do, Abu won't do some. Last year, I bought a cattle farm in Yanton. I see he go buy a farm next to mine. I marry Fauzia. No, he marries Fauzia's sister. I buy my motorbike. I see no, he go buy motorbike too.
But you don't see since you buy your bike, he has bought 4 motorbikes, which have all broken down. He don't maintain bikes at all.
His problem be say he dey put wrong lubricant for his bike inside. The correct motorbike oil where if you put inside be Shell Advanced Lubricant. Shell Advanced Lubricant be the only motorbike oil where they make them for motorbike to protect engine, clutch and brake. Where you no. Wait me, I no go tell him. Shell. Hey, well, hey, where you go?
If you don't go tell Abu, me I don't go tell him say make you use Shell Advanced Lubricant for him bike.
Hey,
visit any Shell station or distributor today to get your Shell Advanced Lubricant for your motorbike. Shell Advance, complete protection for your bike.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
There's a business in every woman, from the young lady brimming with exciting and novel business ideas to the market queen managing her empire. There's the she architect, quantity surveyor, realtor, business consultant, crafting dreams into reality, and the multitasking mom seamlessly blending work at home. The entrepreneur, meticulously checking stock, to the corporate woman sealing deals on the move. Indeed, there's a business in every woman. Introducing Telecel Women in Business, our initiative to empower women-led and women-owned enterprises. Benefit from tailored activities, networking, business and technical support, free webinars, trainings, and more. To join this initiative, be a female-led business and a Telecel business customer. Visit telecel.com.gh/business to register now.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Beyond every boardroom is a story waiting to be written. A story of a business and its potential, of a community that thrives, a hospital that serves, and energy that powers millions of dreams. It's a story that only gets better with a partner that has the expertise and solutions to make it a reality. At Absa Corporate and Investment Banking, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us because your story matters. Absa. authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Gasaba. Smoke from firewood and charcoal is harmful and as damaging to our lungs as cigarettes. It can cause heart diseases leading to stroke and may even affect our eyesight in the long run. Grandmothers, mothers, sisters, wives, men, caterers, and everyone still cooking with charcoal, let's switch to LPG gas. The National Petroleum Authority has introduced the cylinder recirculation model in collaboration with local partners to make gas more accessible in all local communities. Whether you own a cylinder or not, join our CRM initiative. Simply show up at any exchange point near you with a small down payment to receive a filled cylinder or swap your empty one. Regular safety checks will be in place. Say ebisa musemo or gas. Afeidie gasaba. Switch from firewood and charcoal to gas for a better and healthier life. This message is brought to you by the National Petroleum Authority and the Ministry of Energy.
You can engage in all
This is the City Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
Tell me where we gonna run go. After making our motherland a better place to live. Tell me where we gonna run go. When them say we have to pay for the oxygen we breathe. Answer me now, Mr. Big Man. You know this everybody want to go and go off for it. A simple life. It's all we want to live. Give me food, give me clothes, give me love and give me shelter, shelter. Simple life. It's all we want to live. Give me food, give me clothes, give me love and give me shelter, shelter. Yeah. If you hear me, please. This is when you sang me, I sing from the deep. Down in me, I tell me, I feel like the weep. Only but thing I go on where the people can't keep, can't sleep. But the burn it and become your stuff is speed. You are the one to make life easy, same you and make it harder. After everybody mash up and there is nowhere to scatter. Tell me where we gonna run go. After making our motherland a better place to live. Tell me where we gonna run go. When them say we have to pay for the oxygen we breathe. Answer me now, Mr. Big Man. You know this everybody want to go and go off for it. A simple life. It's all we want to live. Give me food, give me clothes, give me love and give me shelter, shelter. Simple life. It's all we want to live. Give me food, give me clothes, give me love and give me shelter, shelter. Well then, enough of them sell out, bun them sell out. For selfishness, we see them sell out. Greedy life, them tell a lie. The truth they will always try to hide. Yeah, call a spade and don't call it a dagger. Living big at the expense of a brother. You don't have no pride, you think you rich, you is a robber. God damn it, first take the poor boy. Call a spade and don't call it a dagger. Living big at the expense of a brother. You don't to make it out.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
When them say we have to pay for the oxygen we breathe. Answer me now, Mr. Big Man. You know to say everybody want to go and go off for it. A simple life. It's all we want to live. Give me food, give me clothes, give me love, and give me shelter. Simple life.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
No more destruction of the motherland. Adam's latest as we push on in the Galamsey fight. It's a battle for the motherland to safeguard water bodies as well as forest reserves and restore those that have been destroyed in what has been described variously as ecological suicide. It's 8 after 8, 97.3 Citi FM. This is the City Breakfast Show. Kickoff was brought to you by Polytank and Zonda. You heard Bernard Abeko should bring you kickoff. Polytank says money is difficult to come by, but it's even more important that you buy trusted and time-trusted brands that the majority endorse when making a purchase. When it comes to water storage tanks in Ghana, the name that we all know is Polytank. More than 30 years and still going as the first, the best, and certainly the original. Go for guaranteed quality. Choose Polytank. Polytank near Papa Nunier. Caution though, Polytank does not request for Momo payments online. And Zonda Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for quality trucks like Shantui bulldozers, excavators, graders, payloaders, rollers, TX trucks, oil tanks, all made and assembled right here in Ghana. At Zonda Ghana Limited, we do not only create opportunities and empower people, but also provide top-notch after-sales service for all your heavy and light-duty trucks and machinery needs. Visit us today at any of our 7 branches around the country and also at the head office off the Tema Aflao Road close to the Free Zones Enclave Tema. Call us now 0501772222 or 0501773333. Zonda building Ghana. Now, I know you want a British degree and at a fraction of the cost. If you want a vibrant student experience in a community that equips you with useful employability skills, that's also very close to your dreams. Enjoy all these and more, plus up to 50% scholarship for your degree at Lancaster University, Ghana. Be taught by the finest faculty trained to UK standards. For more information, call 020-960-7008. Visit www.lancaster.edu.gh. Email admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University, Ghana is the only British university campus in West Africa.
Now, on the occasion of the 2024 Customer Service Week celebration, Zenith Bank is saying a big thank you to all their valued customers for their trust, loyalty, and for giving them the opportunity to serve them. Thank you for banking with us. That's what Zenith Bank is saying. Zenith Bank in your best interest. The new order of retirement is here. You can now retire on your own terms and get a guaranteed monthly income for the rest of your life. Just invest into the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan and everything will go well for you. Call Old Mutual today on 0504534333 or visit their website oldmutual.com.gh. Old Mutual do great things every day. Now, the best gist
of the year is here. You need to get close to your radio set to listen up, because Lucozade is now in a sleeker, slimmer, original 330 ml can with the same energy that you've known for years. So go ahead and grab your sleek Lucozade can and discover the same unbeatable energy with every sip. Lucozade restore your energy, and this ad is FDA approved. If you are a female entrepreneur, an agribusiness owner, or a young entrepreneur out there, ABSA is offering SME loans an unbelievable offer. They are giving you 10% interest on a great loan, and they are doing this in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. Imagine having access to up to 1 million cedis completely collateral free. Your success is our success. If you are ready to write the next chapter of your success story, visit our SME project office, the nearest ABSA branch, or visit absa.com.gh. Your story matters. ABSA.
Africa is rich and not poor. Go to the world that when the African is given a chance, he can show to the world that he's somebody. Prove where you we are waiting. We shall no more go back to sleep anymore. Today, from now on, there is a new African in the world.
Many years I'm counting, still not in the right. No. Plenty pledges and promises. Assume I'll be like. You tell me you gon' keep my picking good education. But tell me if the future is bright. We know they care about your big English, big grammar, know they pay bills and see we get him off, but we can't talk. People are homeless, then they build church. Ghana down the disco. You go get the certificate, but no job. Big man hoes for the road talk. Say then go fix some, then go patch some. I say plenty load with the sit up car. I can now cooler when the youth ball. Joe boy, my people they suffer, my people they cry, but you know they care. Get the time I look my sick about Joe boy.
So this is the new one from episode, I think Wahala Day Part 2, right? Yeah, it's a good one. We are loving it. Now, if you've been following throughout the week, we've been on the Galamsey matter, demanding, making the demand specifically of the government to intervene and help restore our water bodies as well as our forest reserves. There was a big point in the week where organized labor, rescinded its decision to go on strike, and judging from the comments that came from a lot of our viewers and listeners yesterday, a lot of people were disappointed and people thought that organized labor had let them down. But you recall that this conversation on Galamsey was started here. We've been making these demands and then made an invitation to all stakeholders to join this fight and make demands. So it was obvious that organized labor, with their numbers and strength and might and bargaining power, a lot of people look forward to something useful coming out of that. Now, moving from that, yesterday we saw the deployment of Operation Halt. Some chamfans have been destroyed, a couple of other things dismantled, and the fight is rolling on from there. So we are keeping our focus on this one. The agenda is still what it is, that Galamsey must stop, must be eradicated, reduced to the barest minimum. Nathan Neobodaikwao is here. And let me say that after 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks after you put me in the hot soup, and Samuel, it's good to see you. I've not seen you after you put me in that wahala 2 weeks ago.
I was in a Assume.
You're in a Assume, man.
Yeah.
Oh, what's been happening there?
Well, we are taking important decisions.
In the Assume?
In Assume, yes.
I mean, since you came the last time, everywhere I go, people are asking me, have you found some? Have you found some?
You shouldn't worry.
It's not stress.
It will happen. It'll be fine, yeah.
Yeah, but welcome back. It's good to have you in the studio again.
Sir.
Yeah, you have some pano in front of you.
Yes, please.
Pano.
It's Ben's bread.
Ben's bread.
Yeah, Ben's bread.
Oh, sorry. Right. I don't know. We've not had you in the studio, so let me start from organized labor strike and their decision to rescind. Right, the fact that they said they were not going to go on strike, and I'd like to know how important that event has. Should we give it the importance people have? People feel that organized labor's decision to strike gave it a lot of momentum, and then the subsequent decision took away a bit of that energy and all of that.
Yeah.
And yesterday,
I can understand why people will be disappointed. I think it's just it felt like an anticlimax, if you like. But I don't think that I want to begrudge organized labor, because it's organized labor, and they consider a lot of things,
right.
and normally strike action is the last resort, and I give them credit, and I've always done that, because you see, the reference to organized labor is not. We are not referring to, if you like, the downtrodden workers who don't know their way about. These are serious guys.
And the leadership.
They are, and I'm telling you that they are serious guys. And I may have to even chip this in that I see Dr. Isaac Bampoado, Clocksag, they are part of organized labor, right?
Yeah.
This is a very brilliant person. And it's information that may not be needed. I mean, when we were writing Common Entrance, the whole Ghana, he was number 2.
Wow.
So this is, you see, so I'm just saying that, let's calm down. We initiated organized labor, trade associations, professional associations joined in. And the call was for them to speak out and make demands, right?
Yes.
And we here in our studio, we had over 50 of such associations and trade organizations making specific demands. But there was a common denominator, which we crystallized
out of the demands,
4 points, which I believe was captured by organized labor in their statement. Now, out of the 4 or 5 statement demands, I think that what the government has done is to initiate something that meets them halfway. And so if organized labor meets and evaluates and believe that, okay, it's a good place to start, maybe the consideration of strike should be shelved for now.
Okay.
I do not think that organized labor made a statement at that meeting that they had given up on the fight against Galamsey.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Right.
All they said was the issue of strike action will be suspended for now, so that we pursue other options. Now, government says that we have 4 points which they listed. 24 hours after that, they start working. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we here in the media, our job is to pursue government to see the extent or degree to which they can execute. Why? Because people are suspicious. Why? Because we have seen it's like a whole cycle that is being repeated.
Yeah.
And so government, you shouldn't be worried if people are suspicious because of prior experiences. Now, this is where we are. Government will have to do a lot more to convince and assure people that this time around we mean business. Curiously, there was no mention of police. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Yeah, they talked about the military and the Navy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that there's no mention of police. That opens another question. Maybe they have police in the work somewhere, because the military can only cause the arrest but cannot process the arrest.
So then the police will be then dedicated for the prosecution process.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
That. So you arrest and hand them over to police, and what happens? That question has to be answered. Because so as for me, I'm very happy that it started again, because we have always been at the forefront. Yesterday we were talking about if what they have started they are able to sustain, it's in no time, we'll start seeing the restoration of our river bodies first.
Right.
Now, the issue of forest reserves, I think, is a no-brainer because these forest reserves are known and demarcated. And so if there's some activity going on, we should be able to, pursue those people involved. Yeah. The next thing that we would expect is how the locals will be aligned to government effort. And the locals is not a bottom-up approach, it's top-down approach from opinion leaders in these local communities, chiefs, religious leaders who will have to champion. The reason is that the government will not be living in these communities.
Yeah.
But these communities are run by opinion leaders, chiefs, all these folk. So the next level is how to get them aligned. And this time around, it's not the strike and go approach where you go bend the champagnes and then come back to Accra and happy yourself. I heard the commander say that they will be there, the first level, they'll be there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks on the Brim. Yeah.
On the Brim River, okay?
Yeah.
Now, 100 soldiers on the Brim River for 2 weeks by itself will not achieve much. They were burning champagnes.
And excavators. They were burning champagnes, okay.
They were burning champagnes. Yes. They didn't burn excavators.
Yes, I think about 18 of them.
Now, there's a question that also needs to be answered. What else can we use a champagne for apart from alluvial mining?
Okay.
If there's no other permissible use of champagnes,
besides
then even the manufacture of champagnes should be banned. Must be banned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you are driving. When you drive, you go past Apedra towards the Yinem area.
By the roadside like woman were drunk.
They are fabricating champagnes. Yeah. They are fabricating them right before all of us.
And retailing it.
So if it's not for anything else but for alluvial mining, then we should move another step.
Yeah.
Then go after those who make those who manufacture them.
You understand?
Yeah.
There's a whole chain. Okay. Now we are talking about water bodies. The sale of mercury. What policy regulates the sale of mercury? Can anybody walk into a chemical shop and buy mercury knowing what possible effects it has on our water bodies? So I'm just saying that what they have started is good, but we should have a more lateral approach in resolving this. Nothing, it's like we go and bend the champagne and come home. No, it is that and many others.
So we are looking at
including education.
Right.
Including education. And governments should also understand that the youth who have found themselves in the Galamsey, now I can call Galamsey industry, are not enemies. They are not. It's, if you approach it from the we versus them thing, you are losing it. Any country that sits down for wrongdoing to create an economy around itself is in trouble. We saw it happen 15 years ago. We have nursed it. We have looked the other way, and the thing abua kunkunti ba wanyina be kese and afedi wadanya pontreni and ehun ne ho. So this is where we are. We sat down for wrongdoing to create an industry and an economy around itself, and now it's difficult to kill it. Fact, reality is that as for Galamsey, it's not going anywhere. So if anybody slept and woke up and thought that Galamsey will vanish, it will not vanish today, it won't vanish tomorrow. What has become an enemy is alluvial mining and indiscriminate washing of what do you call it?
The
find into our river bodies. That we'll go after. And those who also do mining in our forest reserves, now that they have started the run, first they have suspended it. Secondly, they want to now what's the word? Revoke it.
Amend that.
Which is good.
LI
but the thing, Galamsey itself, it won't go anywhere. Trust me.
So that's a good point. Welcome again. It's good to know your preliminary thoughts. So the initial thought, if I'm taking a few steps back, was this. Okay, this is how I perceived it or I understood it. You know, we have this closed season thing we have for fishing and even in hunting in the deep forest. There are seasons where they do closed seasons. So I mean, in order for the fishes or the wildlife to, regenerate and have more spawn, they call it. Now, we are saying that the Galamsey situation has been so widespread to the bushes to sort of clamp down on the activities of the illegal miners. And we've seen that in the past. We saw how Ankobra regenerated itself when that was done. So in addition to this deployment, then the demand from the media, which organized labor, put together in their meetings with the government for which they were striking, was that amongst the four is, look, declare a moratorium on illegal mining. Let there not be mining in the space for some time. And we know that when you do that, people will still defy that order. So while they are at it, then you deploy the military and the men in uniform to go pull out the
recalcitrant ones who.
But now it looks like we have looked away from the moratorium side and we are deploying the military. And the question is that yes, the media will follow. We have done this before. We have been deploying people. We have been deploying men in uniform, and we have seen the bottleneck. So how are we going to sustain it this time around? The last time we had an interministerial committee. We had a very respected cardiothoracic surgeon who was in charge of it. He came out with a report and said, look, the fight itself has been compromised by some of the people who have been placed in charge of this. So we've had a major hurdle, very major hurdle when we didn't have an election year. So now that we are in an election year and the demands have come back very forcefully, organized labor has come in and this fight has come back to the fore. If you are going to deal with an extraordinary situation, then the result must also have some extraordinary feel. So it appears that the deployment of the military this time doesn't appear as draconian. Let me choose my words carefully. Doesn't appear as forceful as the extent to which the damage has been caused.
That's the point. That's the point, Sam. It's not only about sending the soldiers. If you are dealing with an isolated case somewhere, then you can deploy 100 soldiers to go and clamp the situation down, sort it out, and you move on. But you are dealing with the thing that's
systematic.
That's almost everywhere, especially in the middle part, eastern, Ashanti parts of the western, north. So government measures cannot be just deployment. Government measures will have to match the gravity of the situation. Okay, so in addition to deployment, how about, this morning we've read, there was a story in the Daily Graphic that the lands minister was saying that, well, revoking the LI was in the works, it has to go through parliament. I think that the government needs to understand the seriousness of what we are dealing with and also approach that leg with a lot more seriousness so that we can quickly revoke that LI. Because in the first place, why are we mining in a forest reserve? There's a reason why those spaces have the titles they have. Forest reserve. You reserve them for a reason. You cannot allow anybody there for whatever reason, especially when those reasons are very detrimental to the environment and by extension all of us. So government's approach should not only be, we've deployed river wardens or guards, we've deployed 100 soldiers. No, it should be, we've deployed, we have revoked the LI,
we have declared a moratorium.
Yeah. Maybe a state of emergency for some. Yes. Some people may want that. And then we try to fish out, we fish out those who are hampering the fight, because it's very clear that there are big shots in the middle of this who clearly don't want this fight to succeed, because the success of the fight means something else to them.
Yeah.
So government will have to be very committed, 110%, not one leg in, one leg out.
Especially when you have had trust issues before from your past deployments and exercises.
You know, and the evidence is quite clear. And I always say that, you see, if the government will not listen to anything, the science, Ghana Water has spoken. You've had the Academy of Arts and Sciences. You've had the foresters speak. So the damage is there, is obvious, is apparent. People have told you what exactly is happening. So I would have expected government to be a bit more, to borrow some words, lateral, not just one channel approach, multiple channel approach. Because you see, the problem is moved from a couple of young men who are digging the ground.
Communities.
No,
I saw
I've seen drone shots where pits are meters from people's homes.
Exactly.
They are digging near roads. So that's the seriousness we want from the government.
So we have a report from the Birim exercise yesterday, Fred Duho covered. So I'll bring listeners that report very shortly. But yes, Amens.
You know, I'm saying that we aligned ourselves with all the demands across board, the Ghana Medical Association, you know, and the media has twisted this position of Ghana Medical Association to make it look like they are for Galamsey. Because I heard someone say, they should know better. I said, no, you see, we the whole agitation and processing of our demands should be more methodical. The other day, we went out after Galamsey people. We ended up seizing excavators, burning excavators, and it yielded 0 outcomes. Or some of the excavators that were seized got missing in the process.
We're told
I didn't know that they are magicians
they
here.
can fly.
That a whole excavator
I
can
believe
get
I
missing.
can fly.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that we made our mistakes and we learned from the mistakes. This approach is, let's go into the river bodies. Okay? Yeah. Not that they didn't, on their way, they saw other people mining. They saw other people, but they bypassed them and went straight
for those in the
for
water.
Those in the water. Because you see, that's where you will be able to garner local support. I'm telling you, because don't think that even the locals are happy with mining in the water. So it's okay to start from somewhere.
Correct.
And it's a kudos to the government for starting.
You see that this is the 3rd week or the 4th.
No, it's been agitations back and forth.
Agitations back and
you
forth.
You see, but what I'm saying, no, don't forget.
Yeah.
I heard you say that they've only started in the Brim. No, they started up north. Have you forgotten 2 weeks ago?
That's true.
They started there. They went there and made arrests. You understand? So I'm just saying that they are being methodical.
Right.
But they should know that time is of the essence.
Right.
And we have grown more impatient because of
previous experience.
Very important. Very important.
Now, people were making demands for a temporary ban moratorium.
Yes. State of
which
emergency.
We believe could have quickened the process of restoration. But I'm just saying that if the government chooses not to go that way, we should not raise our arms in despair that they have failed and, you know, because there are so many other considerations. Let me ask a question.
Okay.
Is the smoking of marijuana not illegal?
In Tampe?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is
illegal.
Yeah. So people stop smoking it?
No.
In Ghana?
No.
So it's not just the fact that ban it. So what if you ban and you do nothing?
Yeah. No, so Sames, I get your point, right? But to the extent that this one is having an impact on everything else in a broader scheme. I mean, if I'm smoking...
No, I'm just saying that it's the issue of ban alone. It's what you do after the ban.
But
so
also...
if the ban itself has implications
Yeah.
that we cannot contain now,
Yeah.
for me, the most critical thing is what you do after the ban.
Right.
So they put the ban or moratorium aside and start doing those things.
Yeah.
I ask another question.
Right.
What they have started, if they have started 2-3 months ago, would it have gotten this bad?
It wouldn't have.
That's it. So it's a suspicion,
Right.
previous experiences,
Right.
and all the things come together. That's what has made us impatient.
That's very true.
Yeah. So if they cannot ban now, it's their own matter. But what will not be their matter is if they stop at what they have started, there's going to be, I don't know what to describe it.
Sometimes we did this in 2016, 2017. They said that they deployed river wardings in 2020.
2011. You see,
they announced it again.
I'll tell you what, here at Citi, 2011
Yes.
is when we started this whole Galamsey thing.
Yeah.
When we went with Professor Mills
Right.
to one of the Galamsey places,
Right.
I still have the video. You understand? So we've been at it. But government in, government out, we have not applied the thrust that is needed to stem the tides. And now it's gotten out of hands.
Well, so I mean, where we are now, the next thing, looking forward, because we are trying to look within, look behind, and look forward. We're trying to look back to find out what we did wrong, where we failed, and how now we can get things done better, and then look forward, project, and see how we can do this more sustainably. And Sames, okay, fine. Guys, I'd like to hear from you. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. We talk about the fact that there's been suspicion that, look, we have done this and again. So in order to have it very calculated and surgically executed, let us get the ban. Someone says, look, if the government decides for whatever reason that we want to engage us more often than it is doing,
of course,
to then let us know that, okay, guys,
what's the scope?
Yeah, this is
it's important.
the extent to which we are going. Because
when we know, everybody will know.
Precisely.
Yes.
Sometimes we've done war against indiscipline. We see that it can be very episodic, even though it's even the fear alone that the police and Caleb, they will be on the streets, people are driving carefully. So if you are doing this, how widespread is this? Is it one operation at a time? Because given the scope from Ayamfuri, Western North, Ashanti, Eastern, Central, given the scope, if we are doing one operation at a time, I don't think we can.
It has to be multi-dimensional, multi-channel, several approaches all at the same time, looking at the gravity of the situation. And you see, for a lot of people, the worry is the fact that the repercussions of illegal mining are now affecting all of us. So you see, previously, 25 years ago, you'd see it happening in some small corner. 25 years
in the bush somewhere.
25 years
now
on,
it's close to roads.
Now it's close to us.
Communities.
When you open your faucet, the water coming out is brown. Ghana Water has spoken. So government will have to look at it from that dimension and say, if we don't do something strong enough.
Nathan, this Galamsey thing has been with us for life forever.
Yeah.
It is the introduction of industrial machines into the Galamsey. That's
exacerbated it.
Yes, exacerbated it. Because when we were kids, people were doing Galamsey in the brim. They go there, they use their hands to dig.
Okay.
They use Sophie,
right,
to collect that thing. And those things.
And then probably wash it out of the water?
No, you see that some small portion of the river will be dirty for a while.
Okay.
And, in Akwetia, people were doing Galamsey with diamonds.
Right.
And I'm not talking about something I read. I'm talking about something I lived it. I lived in the area, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm saying that in approaching it, we should be brutal with dealing with the deviants. You see, you can't advise people to stop doing Galamsey.
Correct.
You can't advise them or counsel them.
No,
they won't stop because we left it for too long and it's built an economy on itself. And people are owning houses, properties, buying vehicles out of Galamsey, feeding families, feeding communities out of Galamsey. So we have created a monster out of this Galamsey thing. So whatever approach that we have started, we should understand that we should go the long haul.
Also because, I mean, in this period, we have learned, Professor Kwesi Enin has made us understand that this is gradually moving from ecological, suicidal thing, where it is becoming transnational criminal.
Yeah,
thing.
those are the
You
dimensions.
understand? Because you have more than 1.1 million small arms within the hands of these small scale miners.
You have academia telling you that you have people coming from other places, go up north, dollar power, to mine, take the substances away, sell the substances, and those monies fund all kinds of nefarious activities. So whilst the approach has to be extremely brutal, because now the problem has taken on different forms, different layers.
And that's why I want to pick Samen's thoughts on, because now Samen's, I mean, if 4 years ago people were doing Galamsey at a certain level, this time around they've had so much
exponential growth.
Exactly.
And people are guarding the sites with guns.
They've also armed themselves. You know, so the reasons why then calls for a state of emergency was made.
No, but nobody is saying that it's not needed. Or did I say that?
No, not at all. I'm looking at the absence of that and then the deployment.
I'm saying that if that hasn't been done, we should not throw our arms in despair. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
Haven't we had curfews placed in certain parts of the northern part of Ghana? So tell me, so the problem was solved?
No.
I'm just saying.
It's just one thing. You place a curfew and deal with it.
We have to go into the detail and deal with the issues.
Right.
You have to deal with the issues, because you see, if you go to the first time they start with OT, the OT River, that's where they did the first arrest 2 weeks ago, and they've done Brim now.
As well.
They are preparing Ankobra.
Right.
And all. So I'm just saying that they should be ready for the long haul.
Right.
Because this thing is not, we are not going to win it just because we did some photo shoot.
And it's a show. It's not a show.
To media there, and, you know. No. It's
a lot of hard, serious work.
And so the damage to our river bodies is our foremost concern.
Right.
It's our foremost concern.
Right.
Papa, if the government wants to track where Galamsey is happening or illegal mining is happening, they can do it. Look, I was telling somebody yesterday, you can even use the mobile money people.
Yeah.
The
vendors, the Momo vendors.
The mobile money platform to determine where Galamsey is happening.
That's true.
A lot of them push their money into their Momo.
They don't do the financial.
They should go to it.
Yeah.
They should go to it.
So you can easily track it.
And the volumes of Momo transactions that happen within the Galamsey enclaves, Papa, Udu Tibabodai.
Yeah.
Good. So which means you can through some of these means you can tell.
You can have intelligence to know where it's going on. And then in addition to this, we should empower the Civic Education Bureau, NCC, to also embark on education. You see, we take these things for granted. It's not the shouting, it's not the but there are some people who need to be educated. By this time, government should be calling the Ghana Medical Association. How can we, Ghana Health Service, how can we educate people about the health hazards that are associated with this? You understand? We want to see action.
Work must be done.
So,
basically this morning the conversation is that there has been a plethora of solutions proffered and demands made of the government. Amongst the solutions that were offered to the government has chosen its options. And Samens is simply saying that, I mean, the expectation we may have had of the government to first declare a state of emergency and then followed by a moratorium. In the absence of these declarations, let us also focus on what the government, the solution or the path that the government has then chosen to take, and then report on that, keep an eye on that, and make sure that if they've chosen this journey, then they are going the long haul, so there is no stopping. That's the understanding I'm getting from the conversation we are having so far. That look, they said they are deploying. Operation Halt is back. They are going to get onto the water bodies and extract all the elements from there. So let's keep our eye on them. We know we have trust issues. More reason we should even focus. We should make our focus sharper so that we make sure that we don't drop the ball, basically.
Yeah.
We don't drop the ball. We shouldn't drop the ball. So we take you to Biriam, where Fred Duho was. Some of your messages have come through. I'll bring them to you shortly, but I have a report from Biriam yesterday on the first day of the crackdown where soldiers were deployed on government's Operation Halt initiative. We understand that 18 chamfans were successfully dismantled, 10 industrial water pumping machines, and 1 excavator at various illegal mining sites across the country. So let's get into the report.
The anti-illegal mining task force, Operation Halt, deployed by the government, has destroyed approximately 20 champans and 10 industrial water pumping machines on the Brim River. The task force launched its operation on the morning of October 10, 2024 in the Itiwa East and West districts of the Eastern region.
These officers are going to swim across this river. They've spotted a chamfan on the water and they are carrying a hammer that they are going to use to destroy the chamfan. But how to get there is one of the things they've done over the period, and they are used to it. So they're going to swim all the way to that end before they get close to the chamfan to destroy it.
Speaking to the media, the Operation Halt commander, Colonel Eric Tinedu, expressed optimism about the effectiveness of the exercise.
The Joint Task Force has a clear and unambiguous mission of clearing all our water bodies of mining activities. And at this time, we are not looking at whether the person has the required documents or not. So far as you are on our water bodies or you are along the water bodies, you are our target. We are trying to clear all of them from our water bodies to make sure that our water bodies return to the normal color that we are all looking for.
He explained that the first phase of the operation will last for 2 weeks, after which the task force will move to other locations.
So the immediate assignment is estimated to last for about 2 weeks. Then after that, we'll know what to do next, or depending on the instructions and the directives that we'll receive after that one.
Are you surprised that going to about 3 or 4 sites so far, you've not seen illegal miners doing active mining? Are you surprised about that?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm surprised, because one way or the other, they get the information that we are coming. But then sometimes, before we disembark, we see some of them trying to run, and we pursue them. Just that we've not been able to arrest any of them, but we've been able to destroy some of the equipment.
The directive to ban chamfans on water bodies was clear, according to Colonel Tinedu. He added that forest reserves and other illegal mining hotspots will be targeted in subsequent phases of the operation. The exercise was carried out in collaboration with the Ghana National Small-Scale Mining Association. No arrests were made, as illegal miners abandoned their operations upon learning of the military's presence.
At the end of today's operation, a number of chamfans were burnt by the task force, and also 1 excavator has been burnt by the military men on this operation. It is their hope that by the end of the day, this will serve as a deterrent to those who want to embark on any form of illegal mining on water bodies across the country. today's focus has been on the Brim River in the eastern region, specifically within the Etiwa East and West districts within the eastern region. They are believing that going forward they may escalate their operations in the second phase, probably to the forest reserves and other red zones as far as the mining issues in this country are concerned.
So that was Fred Duho's report from the Birim, bringing us some details on that. And you know, for the time that we were making calls on the government to, you know, get involved in this for a very long time, sometimes also the reason why I guess there are a lot of disappointment in organized labor is because the government actually started really speaking and engaging on this when organized labor came into the picture.
That's correct.
You know, there was DJ.
Not when organized labor went on strike.
That's correct. When they came into the picture to amplify the demand using their bargaining chip.
Yes.
You understand? Because GGA president spoke to the president. Ghana Bar Association president spoke to the president. Yeah. All in his presence. They all mentioned Galamsey. And the president didn't say anything about it. And that silence really agitated people and like, why? Doesn't the government care or anything? And here on the show, Bernard then says that, look, organized labor and all institutions, we all have to get into this. So that level came, and then we started to hear from the government. So then it looks like the strike action also, you know, heightened the expectation and the anticipation that some resource is going to come. Do you get it? And then I've heard you say, I remember you said that do you remember? So in the midst of the nkrani, you know, something drastic must happen so that you can then detangle them. So now that we've gotten here, what should be our expectations of organized labor? How useful can organized labor be again?
Okay, I'll come to that. Now, Nathan was making a point before we went on.
Yes.
Now, he says that, look, he thinks that organized labor should have done some small shaggy with the strike action. I don't disagree with you on that. I do not. All I'm saying is that if they took a decision to suspend the strike action, let's not see it as a failure on their part.
Some even think they've been compromised.
Well, that's another story. You understand? I have been in this media business for quite a while. I've seen people who have been paid bribes and yet they went ahead to do what they wanted to do.
Anyway.
So I'm just saying that we can talk about that on another platform.
Right.
But the point is, they threatened the strike action. They didn't think that the strike action should be the first port of call. So they kept warning government. Now, government now responded to organized labor in particular and said to them that, okay, based on so and so, these are the things that we have outlined. I expect organized labor to be on the lookout.
Right.
If possible, do a press conference every week.
Okay.
To tell us how they evaluate government's actions or response
to their demands.
Literally marking them.
Okay.
If they fall short of the roadmap that they themselves have announced, organized labor can now come back and take action.
That failing the agreement we had with the government, we are taking this action. And that's good faith.
Yes.
I completely get it.
That's what I think. And I don't even think that organized labor said they were going to sleep. No, they haven't said that. They only said we have suspended the strike.
And I guess the nature nature in which their announcement came also then made the public reasonably suspicious, because you have a part saying they just read a prepared speech and another one.
It's to be expected, and I think
it's very understandable.
It's understandable because organized labor heightened the expectations. Which expectations were consistent with what people wanted to see done. Okay, people are not being selfish here. People are not being selfish here. And so it came as an anticlimax. So I say that, I understand. But it's not a definite judgment on organized labor that they have failed.
So
Failed what?
let me ask you a different question. How else could organized labor have gone about this to, consolidate the confidence it built or that the public had in them? Because they did this with
Smith. Another occasion. Because organized labor themselves, they've had an up and down journey with confidence with public and things. World over, it happens. Yeah. One decision, confidence goes down. Another opportunity, confidence comes up. But for now, where we find ourselves, they should stay the course, pursue government, be the watchdogs together with media and CSOs. You understand? I mean, it's what I call stinking inertia.
Stinking
inertia from government. You understand? So government is now telling us that, but for the threat of organized labor, they would have remained silent. And that's also not good.
Yeah.
Because this current round of actions started, say, 2-3 months ago, and we heard nothing
from the government.
Radical from government. And so government should understand why people are angry.
Yeah.
The other day, some people said they were going on a Aluta demonstration. They listed their reasons for going on demonstrations. There was nothing Galamsey. 2-3 days before time, the whole thing turned into Galamsey because they noticed that the Galamsey thing was weightier.
And the public angst was around that.
Do you understand? Yes. So now what they were talking about, youth in constitution, what, everything was put on the bench. And Galamsey became the real deal. Yeah. And because they switched to Galamsey, they were able to draw more numbers because people
genuinely connect and are affected by the thing,
So they can't, this thing, they cannot take it for granted.
Like you said, as for organized labor, they do have a lot of work to do to win public confidence.
Somebody
like me, they would have to do a lot to win me back over because they have lost me.
This guy was yesterday when you were with guys, the labor, no. We were doing the solidarity with them. They took the solid part and left us with the charity.
No, I mean,
they will have to do a lot.
Anybody who's experienced is
they will have to do a lot.
Understand that organized labor is built on negotiations. It's not just Aluta. That's leftist. Negotiations, your power to negotiate and get a better lot for yourself. So I'm saying that organized labor should stay the course.
Stay the course.
Collaborate with media. Every week tell us how you evaluate government action. Because even if organized labor chooses not to act, today the men in cassock will be on the street.
They are walking and praying.
You understand? Last night I was saying that I was hoping that the priests, the charismatic and the people
will be part.
Not be part. They should also go on strike by shutting their churches for 1 month.
Charlie, the souls will be lost.
But the point is
to make the point.
You want to make a point
to dramatize the situation.
We are on strike. The church is on strike.
The Catholic priests are working.
The church cannot strike.
The
church cannot.
They should shut the church.
Salvation cannot be on strike.
It's not that.
But the economy can be on strike.
The church is the salvation.
You see?
Oh no.
We dispense salvation in the business,
But I agree with you. Everybody will have to make a point.
You want to lose something to gain something.
Everybody will have to make
the same way we advise Ghana Medical Association go on strike. The church should go on strike. Your
messages are in. We'll bring this up to you. Oh my God. Nathan, help us with some of the messages.
Yes. Kofi from Abokobi. Okay, let me read Robert's.
Pa Robert.
Okay, is it Pa Robert from Ashoma? Okay, he's asking if Samen still believes the president, in terms of the fight against Galamsey.
Because he placed his presidency on the line. I do not think he has mentioned that. He is saying that amongst the options we have made to the government for solution, the government has chosen A out of A, B, C, D. So let us.
And we are saying
police
the government
the patrol.
cannot do only
police
A.
The government, yes.
It must do A with other things.
Fantastic.
Looking at where we are now.
While we keep
I'm saying if we
it.
were only dealing with a small group somewhere, option A would help. But otherwise, no. So do that and other things to ensure that we are all saved. Kofi from Abokobi says the fact that government only deployed 100 soldiers shows that they are not ready to properly ruffle feathers. They are treating it like it's an inter-hall brawl on uni campus. Even that more boots are deployed. He made a reference to the last episode between Commonwealth and Okpo. More than 100 police officers were on the campus. Okay, so this one they deployed 100 soldiers. This is police. Says let's look at the spread of this mess. It's legendary and it is decisive and bombastic action. That's true. Government needs to respond to the problem looking at the size of it. This one says, the marijuana example that Samens gave is perfect. This is why it makes people scared to smoke it publicly and fewer numbers are smoking it. So, same as
I like the part that says people scared to smoke publicly. But the other side that says fewer numbers.
More boys are blowing
people are burning it. They are burning the tea, and you know what I'm saying?
Same as banning Galamsey temporarily, which will make the work of the task force easier because fewer numbers will engage in it. Okay, I kind of get his point. If you place a ban, then you can go into the areas and fish out the deviants who will break the law.
But has anybody said that they should not place a ban?
They should.
There's
so that's why we are saying that deployment and other measures.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that the fact that they have not placed the ban.
That's something we should give up.
That's all I'm saying.
Basically, yeah, that's very clear. That's very clear.
This one says, now the government has successfully turned organized labor into a toothless bulldog. Nene from Community 25. So who's going to police the military or keep them in check such that they will not join the Galamsey team? This is where we need journalists and media to keep up the pressure and visibility. All right, we'll do our work. This one says, are we saying that the government with all its security apparatus at its disposal could not nip Galamseyers in the bud after several years? The problem is the order from above to release. If that doesn't stop, the police or military will arrest and still not be effective. Let us for once stop the book-long procedure and hit the nail right on the head. I too send that. Very interesting as a kid. But that's the same challenge war against indiscipline suffered. They arrest and then there's order from above to let the people go and do misbehave again. Adam from East Legon says today the soldiers are on the banks of the Brim River. That's a good move, but it's barely scratching the surface. What happens after the 2 weeks that they are stationed there? There's a Pra and Cobra Town or many others that are polluted. What actions are being done along those rivers? Is the government doing this along the brim to quell our anger while the problem persists in other areas? Let's dig deeper to find a lasting solution. Eden from East Legon. Asafache Abolo from Kpone says the military cannot disclose every bit of information to the public. They do what they are doing. That is true because you also don't want to sell your position to the illegal miners. Prince Henry Nkofredia, what was the result when government deployed the military to the Galamsey sites in the past? What will change this time? The fact is, the chief Galamseyers are high-ranking politicians, and the soldiers can't touch them because party Hinska. He concludes by saying the future is pregnant. So that's the question we're asking. Government will have to approach this very differently. Very, very differently. A mix of things to see what will happen. This one says, when you have GMA directing its people to join a strike in a snitch situation, yet pull out of issues that relate to water pollution, it's very selfish on their part. This is what upsets people. Like you said, it's not the first time government has used the military. It didn't yield results. Convince me why I should believe the government when the same approach is applied. This one says, I don't know why in 2024 we are still allowing people to mine with mercury. How is mercury, a harmful substance, easily available to the general public? That's another dimension. This should be a cause for public concern. Also, one good we can do for ourselves in using the time in our history to demand for change. After economic downturns in Jamaica, people forced the government to institute bipartisan economic committees. It happened in other countries. We all know one change we need is constitutional amendment. Richard from Birmingham has sent us that particular message.
So those were your messages. Bring some more of them. We're happy to share them. 0549986996. 0549986996. We have some important announcements for you and so much more on the show. We'll take a quick break. When we are back, there is more.
This is the City Breakfast Show.
we really must do some aborting things with this song, you know, man. Sometimes I think I know your favorite part. I know your favorite part. It will get us Sicifian. No, it's the Sicifiano.
Everybody is using that thing. I think I heard one of these political campaigns.
Oh yeah, they are using it big time.
Using the part of the song. Only credit and I am mobile.
Oh, credit to that.
Oh, credit to social media.
Oh my God. So it's Kim Paluta. Yeah. And he says that if you have CC, if you are maybe or CC, if your CC is feeling like my own, or you know, maybe you are abundant in resources like Sames, you know, you need to get a good mattress to sleep on. So whether it is fear or not, just get latex foam. Quality is what they prioritize. Find any of their showrooms across the country, experience the difference for yourself. Quality mattresses and furniture crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind. You wake up rejuvenated, ready to take on the world. That's a promise. Invest in your well-being. Choose latest foam. Otherwise, you do yourself. We are your partner for life. Visit us today and sleep better tonight. Call us on 0302-231-155, 0302-008499. Visit us online, www.latexfoamghana.com. And this one is for parents, students, professionals. If you're thinking about educating your ward or studying in Canada and your previous visa study visa application was unsuccessful, and if you're thinking of a course or program of study that will help you get a good job in Canada, Best Education Services proudly brings you the exclusive Study in Canada Fair. The date is Monday 14th and Tuesday 15th October 2024. Accra City Hotel is the venue for Accra, and in Kumasi the venue is Lancaster Hotel, Kumasi, Wednesday 16th October 2024. 17 top Canadian institutions with programs in bachelor's degree, master's degree will be present to assist you in choosing the right program. You must come to this event with your WASI results. If you are here to write, you can come. Currently, if you are at the University of Poly and you want to transfer to Canada, that's great. If you have a diploma or HND, bachelor's degree, looking for master's program, do well to pass by. The event is free, but you must register now. So call or WhatsApp 025-624-5006, 025-624-5006. Best Education Study in Canada Fair 2024. It's your ticket to success.
Now, if you're in the construction space, Diamond Cement is what I'm recommending to you. They have two types of 42.5 hour grade, which is the highest quality on the Ghanaian market, and the affordable 32.5 hour grade. So get in touch with Diamond Cement. They are in Aplauta, Kradi, and Buipe, or call them on 0244-313-368. Diamond Cement still hard as a diamond. Get ready for the final of STEM Novation. It's happening between the 14th and the 16th of October at the Ohene Konedu Auditorium at UPSA. Join us to celebrate the genius of Ghana's youth as they showcase groundbreaking projects in science, tech, engineering, and math. Tune in, turn up, and get inspired. STEM Novation, solving tomorrow's problems today. And if you are considering going to the university, Heritage Christian University College is what I recommend, or I'm telling you to check them out. They place a lot of emphasis on entrepreneurship, technology, and practical learning with professional certification. They've got undergrad and master's programs available, and you can call them on 020-229-8399 or visit their website hcuc.edu.gh. Heritage Christian University College, educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders.
10 years on, we've made memories, lots of them, both good and bad, lots of lessons learned and still learning. Eunice, thank you for everything. God bless your kind heart. Happy anniversary, my love. Hey, and this is coming from Ben Edu Oflex, celebrating 10 years of love. And he says, I dedicate King Palutes Makuma to Eunice. Hey, Eunice, today, Jinaye. My challenge is as follows. Who owns the machines? Who owns the concessions? Where is the cash and gold after the swoops? If there is a booming economy, what's to show? How are the lives of people changing? Is the area developing? How is the Ghana economy developing through the gold sale, etc.? Is PMMC getting this gold for sale? What's happening to all the evidence? Multiple videos of security services and people in government. Good morning, CBS team. I think organized labor has achieved its aim for the government to start acting to stop Galamsey. Strikes are used as a threat or tool to achieve an aim, which organized labor has done. Good work. They should be applauded. Frank from Dakuma. Good morning, CBS team. The media should also strike partially by boycotting coverage of their political campaigns. That's all they care about. Let's pinch them where it hurts bad. You didn't add your name. It's easy for the government to catch the people responsible for the Galamsey crime. I believe not so many companies in the country have the license to import mercury and cyanide. Catch these people, find their buyers, and you have solved half the Galamsey crime. Daniel inside Major, I completely agree with this. I think Godfred raised this the other time because you can't find mercury in the market. It's not sold like tomatoes. So who is importing them? They must have license. So track them, follow the money.
That's the thing. These are the additional measures we want the government to do. Not only send the soldiers, which is okay, a small part of it, but the government will have to do more because we see that the problem is multi-layered. And I'm sure the government knows the track on which it must go to get these things. There are, like I said, several dimensions. Who's bringing excavators? Who's manufacturing shanfangs? How are the shanfangs made? Clearly, they are made somewhere. Why don't you get the people? Who's selling mercury? Why is it that there's mercury available to these people? Where are they getting it from? All these. So that's the approach. Multi-dimensional.
Audit and Sandra. Okay, so Abuna Baini is Chief Sustainability Officer of Deloitte West Africa and Partner Audit, and Sandra Santiago of the Finance Department. From your country managing partner Daniel Kwejo Owusu and all staff of Deloitte. Hey, your country manager is wishing you happy birthday. Abuna and Sandra.
Their country manager
EB solid guy.
Birthday messages for his
Abuna and Sandra, today you have cashed out. No, your labor is organized. Happy birthday. Okay. This one says, a glorious happy birthday to Pastor David Lamte, District Pastor of Apostolic Church, Rehoboth District, Sacramento. May God's glory and oil over your life continue to catapult you to greater heights in your ministry. Remain abundantly blessed and highly favored with lots of love from your congregation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Some more dedications. 9th October. Okay, this came through yesterday. 9th October is my mom's birthday. Please help me give a birthday shout out. Her name is Madame Eugenia Kafui Kwame. Madame Eugenia Kafui Kwame. Belated happy birthday to you. You're an ardent listener. You're a beautiful soul. Your family says they love you so much. Happy birthday to you. We have our friends from the STEM Novation 2024 in the studio. National National Deputy Director of Free SHS, Nana Afra Sika-Mensah, is here. The Director for Strategy and Innovation, Aaron Chum Akwabwa, is here to talk about the grand finale of STEM Innovation, Ghana's National STEM Competition for Second Cycle Institutions. Let me welcome Mr. Aaron Chum Akwabwa and Nana Afra Sika-Mensah into the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, good to see you again.
Great to see you. Thank you.
Wonderful. How have you both been doing?
We are doing well.
Wonderful.
Yourself?
Oh, not bad. The STEM Innovation, how's it going? This started last year, right?
No, 3 years. We are 3 years
It's
now.
3 years already.
Yes.
Wow, time flies.
Last year it didn't come, so.
I was following. Don't do that. Don't do that. But this year, how did it go last year? I just want to start from last year before we get into what we are looking at this year.
There was a huge improvement in year 2 versus year 1. We
Right.
started with 97 schools in year 1. We moved up to 220 schools.
97 to 200.
227.
227
Wow.
in year 2. And so there was more than doubling of the participation rate. Schools were very engaged, students were very engaged, and the projects were fantastic. The wonderful thing is that we went from 227 in year 2 to 296, I think.
297.
297 this year, almost 300. When you think about it, we only have about 1,000 second cycle institutions in Ghana. So nearly 1/3 or 30% of all schools and second cycle schools in Ghana are part of this program now. So we went from less than 100 to almost 300 within 2 years.
Wow.
And the best thing about it is that the many schools are doing more than one project. There's schools that are doing 2, 3, and even 4 of the themes. So we have nearly 500 different projects presented to begin with.
Wow.
So we've really increased over the years.
That's massive. So, Sika, tell us, for those who are hearing about the STEM Innovation Challenge for the first time, what is it about? What are you trying to achieve?
Okay, good morning to your cherished listeners. When we talk about STEM innovation, it's simple. It's a STEM competition among senior high schools, senior high technical, and then the TVES institution. So we give them solutions to solve societal problems. What makes our competition unique from all other competition is that we will give you a theme for you to identify an issue within your community, and then you find solutions to it.
Oh, okay.
So that is why you can affirm to the fact that during our first edition, when you came to the Issa Hall, you saw students from Oti region. You've identified that teachers and nurses were not accepting posting to some of the deprived communities in their region, and then they were solving. So they realized it, and then they were.
So every year you give them theme-based STEM challenge.
Yes.
So and this must be a solution that is addressing something within their regions or communities.
Exactly.
I see. So what was the theme for last year and what's the theme for this year?
So this year's topics are sustainable energy. We have energy section. We have something for the environmental section. We also have food sustainability, and then we have a digital category. The reason we like the digital is that with the digital, you have to use one of the other 3 to do the digital piece, right? So it's like when you're doing the digital, you might make an app or a website or coding of some sort, but it also has to solve one of our other problems with energy, environmental sustainability, or food sovereignty. And so that's the focus here, so that students are not just doing it for the fun of it. We enjoy the enjoyment and the fun
contest,
and the contest and everything. But when you go to a robotics competition, a lot of times everyone is using the same tools and they're doing the same exact build, but you're just arguing who is doing the better version of the build.
Right.
When you do the quiz competitions, who can tap in fastest to get the answer? We all know the answer is Isaac Newton, but school A was able to do it in 3 seconds versus the other school being able to tap in 5 seconds. Ours is, can you solve a problem that tomorrow you can use in your community? And that is why we pick these topics every year.
I like it. So what's the theme for this year, Sika?
The theme is future proofing. I think we repeated last year.
Yes.
Okay.
Future proofing for socio-economic development in Ghana.
Future proven.
Yeah.
Proofing. And the thing is, we want to. What we mean by future proof is this: we want to be in a situation where you, in the next 20 years, your job doesn't exist.
Okay.
Meaning that your grandfather couldn't have this job. How many radio stations were in Ghana when your grandfather was a young man? Your grandfather could not have this job. So the jobs that our students are going to have, the things they're going to do to make money and change the world, technically don't exist. But we need them to have the skills so they can be future proof. Because right now, taxi drivers won't have jobs in 20, 30 years. Why won't you have jobs? Because it's going to be taken over by Uber, and it's going to be taken over by electronic. Not even just that, but even the self-driving cars. When we get our roads the right way, you can't be a trotro driver in this country. So you can't be thinking that you're going to do this thing today and be able to have a job in 20 years. So we want to future-proof Ghanaian young men and women so they have the skill set to change the world as it moves.
Fantastic. So when is this year's contest happening? And I'm sure you've selected those who are contesting already.
Yeah.
So give us an idea what to expect.
All right. So this year, don't expect nothing but a good contest and then amazing projects. We will entreat all Ghanaians to come to UPSA starting Monday to Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, this time around we've expand our territory. Instead of we using 2 days every year, wanted to use 3 days.
Okay.
Because the projects are a lot this year. We have about 60 schools that are coming all across Ghana. They are coming to UPSA to compete. So we will entreat all Ghanaians, well-meaning Ghanaians, to come and look at these students that we are investing so much in them at the free senior high school space. The solutions, they are also playing their quota to solve national issues. So it's starting on Monday 14th, and then the final, the awards is Wednesday.
Okay. What's the plan for the solutions that they come out with? I see a number of these innovations and challenges around, and very often the next question is, how do we help them scale? Is your focus just giving them exposure and context so they put things together, or you have a long-term plan of holding their hands and helping them scale what the innovations they have to actually have an impact in their communities where they work and live?
That's a great question. Yeah, exactly. That's why we're here. But it's also twofold. It is about exposure. It's about being on the radio, getting on TV, letting Ghanaians know that our young people are special and they do special things. I think that's the first kind of barrier that we need to cross.
Right.
But back to your point about what is the next step. The next step is working with our partners like NEIP, right, whose focus is innovation, and getting them and having the students to learn how to do a business plan, how to do their modeling, how to do their prototyping. So that's another piece. Another piece is the fact that we're giving over 200,000 Ghana cities in prize money so those students can use it as their to expand their project. So if you end up winning and you get 50,000 Ghana, you could turn your project into something very nice. You can go ahead and even sponsor your students to go do training programs so they could do better in different projects. So that's what we're doing here. And of course, we're coming from the Ministry of Education, and our job is to educate. And so when we bring these kind of things to our minister, what he does is says, I'm going to use my resources to do a next step. So last year, our two winning teams, our winner and our runner-up, ended up going to Japan for a week to do a study program to learn more, to grow, and to see how their projects can even push farther. So international exposure, national exposure, local connectiveness, and actually just funds. Because at the end of the day, you can have a nice car, but if you don't have petrol, you're not going anywhere.
That's very important. Now, so what are some of the innovations that the students have come up with that, Sika, blows your mind?
Oh, if students can design a dialysis machine. Yeah, I want you to be there. I don't want to say all of the solutions or the projects that have been designed this year.
They're designing dialysis machines.
Yes.
Not designing.
Not designed. They've designed.
Videos.
So the project that are coming, it's not something that they are now going to do.
They've done it.
Yeah, they've done it.
So they're now going to compete.
We are done with the roadshow.
Okay.
So we know those, after the roadshow, these are the best students. The best schools are coming to compete in Accra.
I see.
So initially we start. That's why Kweku said we have 297 schools.
Right.
So after the roadshow, we trickled it
down all the way to
like
60 thereabouts.
schools.
I see.
There will be an expo. on Monday, and
see.
it's open. Come and look at the project that your students have developed for
Exciting.
you. Yes.
We'll pass by. So
you don't have any option than to pass by.
Yes,
so
please.
Don't tell me you pass by.
We'll
You have
be
to.
there.
You have to
Pass
be there.
by sounds like show
Yeah,
face. Wait, they
welcome.
remember.
Yeah, so you have to be there.
What if she?
Patron, I'm to
I know very some rough with Kenya. From America, no, so you're from Aqua.
Me tell US HNT. So me call them shot. Me me 5 years into. Yeah.
So, which are some of the schools that are doing so well? Like, which school won last year? Let me be fair. For the first contest, who won? Second contest, who won? And then who are some of the favorites this year? We want to see. We'll come support them and make all the noise.
Which school did you attend?
Don't worry. You
answer my question.
No, I went to O'Reilly Senior School. I did the contest.
Your school
Then the contest.
Yeah,
okay,
so
that's what I like. That's what I like.
I'll
so
be there.
As we have category A, category B, category C.
Yes.
Trust me, STEM innovation is unique. And last year, our winning school is from Ahafomai Senior High School.
Ahafomai
Yes,
Senior
in Ahafo
High
region.
Yes,
Yes.
big school with an all-girls team.
Yes, all girls
team.
and they won. And the second runner-up was Wesley Grammar.
Accra. I see.
So when it comes to our contest,
it's not about names,
No, it's not about the big names. Show what you have.
The interesting thing is that it's not about the big names, but the big names are also there.
Yeah, they are also the project that Presec is doing is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be there. We'll come and see. Our time is up.
Yeah.
Aaron Chum Akwabua. I didn't know you speak. Nana Afrasika Mensa, National Deputy Director, Free SHS Secretariat. Thank you for passing by, and we'll do well to come be part of the STEM innovation, which is happening on Monday, 14th October to Wednesday, 16th October at the Ohine Kunedu Auditorium.
Exactly. And all your friends from Raleigh will be there.
We'll be there. We'll see you. Thank you, Aaron Chuma Kwabwa and Nana Afrasika Mensa.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Now that I've lost everything to you, you say you wanna start something new, and it's breaking my heart to leave. Baby, I'm grieving, but if you wanna leave, take good care. Hope you find a lot of nice things to wear, but then a lot of nice things turn bad out there. Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Hello, spare driver. Are you?
20 minutes to the top of the hour, and if there's anything we all love, then it is food. We can fight over everything, but when it gets to food, we are united. We all love food. And so I'm happy to welcome Dr. Gregory Komlagan into the studio. He is the Deputy Director, CSIR Food Research Institute. Doc, good to have you.
Thank you.
And then we have Thomas Naja. You are Head of Commercialization at CSIR FRI.
Yes, please.
Welcome,
You're welcome
to the
Thank
studio.
You, Thank you,
Did you come with some food or what?
That is good.
If you are from CSIR Food and Research something, I'm sure you came with some.
We are here to invite you to Food Research for food.
Oh, you are inviting me for food?
Yes,
exactly.
No, I like that conversation. So tell me, who is CSIR Food Research Institute?
Okay, so for everybody, like you said, to survive, we need to eat food.
Yes.
So the government at a point thought that as a nation we need to be food secured.
Right.
So in 1963, the government at the time established Food Research Institute.
1963?
Yes.
Wow.
By Act of Parliament. So we were established, and we are just one or an affiliate of CSIR, what we call Council for Scientific and Industrial Research.
Okay.
So we were established, and for our core mandate as Food Research Institute, as a post-harvest institute, we are mandated to conduct applied research into food processing and preservation, food safety and quality, food storage, marketing, and distribution. And we do all this research to formulate or come out with technologies and solving problems to educate the government on its food nutrition policy.
I like
so
that.
that as a country, we can be food secured.
I see. That's very interesting because I see a lot of entrepreneurs going into food processing, adding value to the food so that it stays longer on the stalls and all of that. So do you do research to sell solutions to people to implement, or you implement it yourself, or what exactly is the mandate? How do you do what you do?
Exactly. So what we do is that, he said, we identify a problem, we sort for funds, we do the research. I don't know, the outcome is converted into a snapshot to either a product or services to solve particular problems. So what is done is that when these are developed, then it is commercialized.
Okay.
It is communicated to the general public.
Okay.
Those who want training programs, they come. Currently, we've earmarked about 30 different training programs. To mention but few, the mushroom cultivation technology. We have high quality cassava flour training. We have aflatoxin-free groundnut paste processing. All these things are for grabs for individuals and companies to establish and to create their own jobs. So these are some of the things we do. Apart from that, there are other tanker services that are being done to solve some problems for the industry.
So you are the man for commercialization.
Yes, please.
That's why you're very excited about this question.
Sure.
But does the CSIR Food Research Institute do some of the commercialization by itself, or you're solely into outsourcing your research solutions to and innovations to interested parties?
Yes, so we have some products that we've developed into the shelf of our shops.
Okay.
For people like you to come and buy.
Right.
Yes, we have them. When you go to shop.foodresearchgh.org, you will see our online market where people can come and buy those things. Apart from that, we also do what is called contract production. You can come to us. You want us to produce mass volumes of some of our products, like Okunte.
Okay.
Have you tasted of Okunte before?
No.
You will love it. You will love it.
Charlie, bring some.
You don't have problem at all.
Bring some.
So these are some of the things we render to the public.
Okay.
Yeah, but we have small shop
like
for people to see.
Doc, yes.
So to add to what Thomas has said, you see, initially we were mandated to conduct research.
Okay.
And the research outputs are now commercialized by entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So government takes care of our research
okay.
in terms of paying us
Funding.
and giving us resources to do the research.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, the research outputs are supposed to be taken up by entrepreneurs
and commercial
in the public
people
sector
to scale up.
So, but with time, we realized that we do the research and they were gathering dust on the shelves. So what do? We ourselves have the potential of even commercializing part of the work that we have done over the years. So I'll give you an example. When I'm sure you have heard of Neat Fufu.
Yes.
That technology was developed by Food Research.
Okay.
In partnership with other institutions, sister institutions.
Okay.
What happened was the Despite company of Despite a group of companies, they came to us. We were doing this technology for them, but at a point in time, they took it, package it. So they will bring plantain. We do the plantain fufu for them. Then they'll package. And because they had radio at the time, they went to advertise in mass proportions. And right now, people would think that fufu powder was the originators were.
So basically, you do the innovation and then you sell it out.
Yes.
So what about IP issues, intellectual property issues? How do you deal with that?
Yes, so now we have an IP department at CSIR. So all the new products or all the technologies we develop now, we try to do the patency so that formerly we were not doing that.
Okay.
But now we have a department, a division
so
that
with
takes
all
care
the
of
food that we are talking about, I'm surprised you didn't come with food. You came empty-handed, you know.
Yes, that is why we, as part of this commercialization drive, we are doing what we call the International Food Day. We are observing the
International Food Day.
Yes.
Tell me more.
So the UN sets aside one day every year. That is October 16th every year to celebrate World Food Day. And the idea is to create awareness about food security in the whole world. So what is food security? Food security is simply to the point that everybody should have access to food. Food should be available to everybody. So as part of our mandate at Food Research, we know how we can preserve food and make sure that food is available for everybody. So we set aside one day in line with the global celebration to create awareness about food security in Ghana and what we do at Food Research. That is why we are celebrating this year's Food Day. And instead of one day, we are making it 3 days, from 16th to 18th of
Doc,
October.
are you just creating awareness or you are providing the thing itself so we can get to come in? We want to come and eat.
Yes, you talk about we not bringing any food for you. We want you to have the appetite so that you can come next week. It's just next week. Right?
Is it awareness you are doing or there is food there? You have to be clear.
There's awareness to come and see the food.
Okay. There's awareness to come and see the food.
Yes.
So what kind of food is there? You know, give me the array of dishes that are available.
The exhibitors who are going to be those who produce food within food value chain, ranging from raw material to the finished product, processed. And then our mothers who also cook fufu, banku, work plan. Are you at the man? I can see that it's you. So they are coming.
Now you are talking to my spirit.
Apart from that, there's going to be a farmers market. Where fresh and quality food, farm produce, fresh from Ghana. You can come there to come and buy cheap. At the cheaper
the prices are
there.
cheaper there.
Over there.
So you have farm produce there.
Yes, please.
Do you also have, so if I want to plant maybe some plantain or banana, do you have some suckers there? Do you have things like that? No. You just have the produce and then the processed stuff along the value chain.
Yes, please.
That's what you have.
Our sister institute, OPRA and Crop Research, they were there to showcase the seedlings.
Good.
And the seeds.
Because Food Research, we are a post-harvest institute.
That's true.
We take the food from the field, the farms, and that is where we come in.
Great. So who qualifies to take part in the fair?
Okay, so people, entrepreneurs, and companies with products within food value chain.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that one can come there with anything that is not food, clothes, and whatever. No.
Okay.
It is food value
Strictly.
chain. Yes.
Yes.
So they are all invited.
Okay.
Food vendors, food companies. I mean,
is it free to vend?
Oh, not really, but to some extent,
Okay.
because a free vendor, like a food seller, is supposed to pay just 250 Ghana cedis.
Oh, that's cool.
And a booth for any other exhibitor is for 560 Ghana cedis
That's
for
really
3 days.
cool. That's really
so I want to give you the
number.
the product outline.
Yes.
The program outline.
You
too.
give me the number first.
Okay, 0243 759744.
759744. 0243 759744. Okay,
and
give me
50 8923 691.
Good. So what's the program outline?
Yeah. So from next week Tuesday, it will we are going to have quiz competition for first second institutions within Ayawaso municipality, and the second cycle schools selected within the same place. So the first cycle schools are going to be Achimota Basic School, Presec Basic School, Legon Preparatory, Christ the King, and then what do you call it?
Biology.
Biology basic.
Okay.
And then the second cycle schools are going to be Achimota School.
So on the first day you have inter-school competition.
That's quiz competition.
That's the main thing on the first day.
Not the first day. A day preceding
the
opening.
So on the 15th.
Okay, that's what you
Tuesday.
do. So what do you do on the first day?
On the first day is going to be the opening of the exhibition.
Great. And then the exhibition continues
throughout the
rest of
our
the
sector minister will be there. Our director general and special dignitaries will be there. The MP for Ayawaso and all those people will be there.
So I guess these are some of the groups and institutions supporting the program.
Definitely.
Great.
So Citi FM, Channel 1 TV, Kopia, Honorable Ayawaso West Wagon MP, Honorable Siriam Alasan.
Yeah.
These are the people.
FDA, EPP Books, they are all sponsors for
Fantastic.
now.
Thank you for passing by. Dr. Gregory A. Komlaga, Deputy Director, CSIR Food Research Institute, and Thomas A. Naja, Head of Commercialization, CSIR FRA. A big one happening. Do well to pass by. Thank you so much for passing through the studio.
Thank you.
Great.
Keep the good work.
Thank you so much.
Go. Obi Antone.
Nicholas has some agenda. He is vice president hopeful for the Young Lawyers Forum. Okay, so the wish is no agenda day inside the Labour. Yeah. He wants to organize the labor around
all the lawyers who have been called to the
Esquire season and things.
We wish you the very, very best.
Yeah,
it's nice to see people complete their legal education. We hope that you also come in and do your bit to help your country and help your fellow citizens.
Right.
We need a place where we can go, a land where everyone. Dead in the middle of stormy weather.
Gotham City. Nathan, this is our Kelly, correct?
Yes, our Kelly.
Oh, it's a nice one.
Sylvester Kelly.
So, Kelly was Zendaya Ariel Na Botele Alabi of Rising Star School. Tishia, happy birthday. May she live long from Alabis. Thank you. It's top of the hour, and Zoe Abubaid is in the studio. The weekend is upon us, Zoe.
Hi, Caleb.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I've been watching you on the TV doing interview with some fine women. What's going on?
Oh, the woman in you with Zoe.
Oh, you are hosting a women's show.
Yes, please.
And some mess is worrying me about women. Zoe, manager, you are not trying for me.
So it means I can get a woman there for you, right?
You are not trying.
Okay, you see
me. You have to look sharp, you understand? Charlie, I'm standing in solidarity with you, you know. Charlie. You have to organize my labor.
Solidarity forever.
The solid part is gone. It's left with the darity. So you tell us what's in the news.
Hello, this is the Election Bureau. Welcome to City News at 10. Coming up, Catholic Archdiocese of Accra holds environmental